based on earlier discussion of scheduling, Monty and Steve, if you're not available on December 30th, which is what, New Year's Eve, uh, we're not
Hmm.
playing for quite a while, which is fine. If you're not available, you're not available. There's no laws here.
Because
Slash,
Yeah,
we have a
30th
lot of
might be
D&D.
rough.
somebody
I'm open.
is swanning off to Hawaii.
Steve, if
Are
it's
you?
not good for you, then it's not good for you, and we'll play later in 2024. So we
Okay.
got
That
we
is
got plenty of
not
D&D
a real
backlog.
year.
There's no like we have to play D&D or we'll get in trouble with the government.
Which government?
The government
That's
of
right. The witch
America?
government. They're
Yeah,
very powerful.
yeah. Hmm. Thank you, Monty. Really the best of us.
We might be, we might be live.
All right. Does anyone
You
have
might be a
any
member X.
embarrassing secrets to stream?
I,
None more
Always.
embarrassing than we're about to embark on.
I mean, I don't know nobody's watching us, so
I will put the link places.
that might make
working
people
on it.
watch us.
I mean, does look like we are live. Good job, James.
Yes, we are live. And I heard voices because I did not for some reason
All right,
it
let's see.
worked
Where do I
through
put
my
links?
speakers.
I put a link on Mastodon. I put a link on my Ko-fi page, and I put a link in Discord. All the fun things.
I'm not
then I
saying that
close
Secret Agent has failed us, but they've
All
failed us.
those windows.
They've totally failed us.
All right. Well, let's do a D&D.
And well, let's not get carried away. We could do anything.
Go finish a castle. We'll
All right, let's play
There we go.
Paranoia.
Ooh,
I
it's
want to play
Paranoia.
It's a very good game, which I've never played.
You
and
don't
I,
know that. James, you just buy all the books for it. You don't know
I
if
have
it's a
like
good game or
4
not.
editions of Paranoia that I've never played.
The books are so good. I love reading old Paranoia adventures.
Yes.
I've read all of them multiple times and never done anything beyond that. I think we tried to
Wow.
play once and didn't get very far.
Well,
That is a classic teenager thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Also a classic person in their 50s thing, apparently.
Well, I mean, you're all teenagers at heart. Listener Susan Cook response that audio and video is working
Yay!
fine.
Thank you, Susan.
Excellent.
All right. So it has been a while since we played. I think both time-wise and emotionally, mentally. It is also slightly post the Thanksgiving holiday in the United States. And, it's going to be an experiment to see how much people remember about things. I will do an actual formal recap on the episode once we get started. But I'll remind you that, as always, a book has compelled you to do some stuff, and you're doing stuff. Specifically, I believe Monty, your character opened a book. Cyril the turtle, opened the book, and a genie kind of popped out, or a djinn, and said, "I need you to free me. I need you to go either bring me to my master and/or kill him, so that I can be free from this book. Things are bad." And the genie led you up the Sword Coast to a watery, kind of secreted away, hidden workshop / laboratory, and you navigated that and found your way to a kind of a trashed workshop where there is not an Air Genasi mad scientist, but a large dragon. And I think we cliffhangered with a large dragon. Does that sound familiar to people?
Yeah.
It does.
Yes.
Okay. Nothing else happened, I don't think.
Definitely didn't touch anything on the way.
All right. You're all in Realm 20. You've all got your D&D Beyond open with your character sheet. You're remembering at least what your character is, if not how to play them, and everyone is recording.
I wrote down
Everything-
performance notes.
performance notes.
Look at you.
I have a document in
Show
front
off.
of me called Cool Stuff, which is a list of things I could do just to remind me that I
Performance
can
notes.
use it.
Oh, that's how you play
a
this
review
game.
at the end of this or something?
Well, I mean, I'm just going to say several of you owe me years and years of, I forget what the reports are from Office Space. TPS?
TPS.
TPS.
Is that a
TPS
real
reports.
thing? Those are real things, right? that sad people
No
have to
idea.
fill out in real life?
I've definitely had to do those when I was at Apple. So
It's
What-
a test procedure specification.
Is that what it is? Okay.
okay, well, I just had to.
For
say
some
what
reason, I
was
thought I
doing.
assumed it was going to be a timesheet. It sounds worse.
No, I think
Um,
the stuff I did,
it's-
it was like what you have been doing, what you are currently doing, and what you will be doing.
Okay.
That makes sense because it's like a procedure specification.
Are we really
so-
talking about this?
Yes,
Mhm.
TPS reports are very
Thank you.
important.
Thank you, Tiff. Let's play Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes, let's.
You know,
Please
it's
don't.
important that we all keep each other something.
Grounded.
I don't know. I was gonna say like together moving forward, but just I think it's not so much that we like are looking out for each other. It's just like, no, let's not go down that dark pathway. I'm not
What if
saying
we
we
pl-
should go this way.
What if we
but, you
stop doing this and play Dungeons and Dragons?
know. What if?
Okay,
What a
let's.
crazy idea.
Head towards
Welcome
the light.
back. Welcome back to Total Party Kill. It's me, Tony Sindelar, a dungeon master. I use he, him pronouns, and today we are continuing one of our Candlekeep Mysteries adventures. That's right, we are playing Zikran's Zephyrean Tome, the level 10 Candlekeep Mysteries adventure, where a book has compelled people to do things, as is wont to happen in Candlekeep Library. Allow me to introduce our players. They will introduce their characters, and then I'll give you a reminder of what y'all been up to. First up, it's Kathy Campbell. Welcome back, Kathy.
Thank you, Tony. I am Kathy Campbell, she, her, playing Hermione. Also, she, her, who is a centaur fighter, and is very glad that she is tall enough to be out of the water previously, but I guess the water's gone from what I can remember, which I definitely remember everything that's going on right now. And there's a dragon.
All right, thank you, Kathy. Next up, the one, the only James Thompson.
I am indeed James Thompson, he, him. I am also Nyasa Nightweaver, she, her, who is a high elf rogue who has learned a lesson about searching corpses, but probably the wrong lesson.
Also joining us, Monty Ashley.
Hi, it's me, Monty Ashley. I am playing a character named Cyril, who is a 3-foot high turtle person. He's a divination wizard who has really never done any magic out in the field. So he's very excited about all of this. Cyril's and my pronouns are both he, him.
Also joining us, it's Tiff Arment. Welcome back, Tiff.
Hey, playing Poorly Quartz, the rock gnome druid who loves to wrestle and climb walls, and we will not be turning into any dolphins this time.
Okay. Don't make promises you can't keep. And
I'm keeping those promises.
Okay. Last, a dolphin never breaks its word. Last but certainly not least, it's Steve Lutz. Welcome back, Steve.
Man, there may be a bit of a quibble about that last thing. Yes, it's me, Steve Lutz, and I'm here once again playing Lempus Barden, a tiefling bard with a last name like Barden. You got to be a bard. Technically a variant tiefling, for what that's worth, you know, for you out here who are pedants, need to know these things.
Fun fact, 45% of our audience are pedants.
Yeah, it's got to be higher than that. I bet somebody will be contacting you via email.
Well, not all of them
what the number
self-identify
actually
as
is.
pedants. So
There you go.
So what have we been up to in this adventure? Well, it all started when somebody opened a book, as you do. That book contained a djinn, also sometimes known as a genie, one Gazra Azam. There's a lot of names in this adventure, and I'll try and repeat them to help people let them sink in. So that djinn is Gazra Azam, and Gazra has basically pleaded for help as a djinn. Gazra Azam has been just stuck inside this book, and this book has been sitting on the shelf of Candlekeep Library for some time now. The wizard that imprisoned Gazra Azam is still alive, for if they were dead, Gazra Azam would be free. And Gazra Azam has basically asked for your help getting unstuck from the book, either by striking some kind of bargain with their master, or, you know, dispatching their master. Who is their master? Their master is one Zikran from the title of the adventure. Zikran is a water genasi wizard, so a very aquatically attuned creature and character. And I believe that Cyril has specifically used some divination magic and like seen actual visions of Zikran, confirmed that Zikran is alive and working away in some kind of basement workshop somewhere. So, Gazar Azam has helped him by navigating your way up the Sword Coast, not too far from Candlekeep Library. There was kind of a secret laboratory, secret sanctum hidden away behind a flooded cave, and you have navigated that flooded cave and made your way to Zikran's sanctum. But it seems like Zikran's not home, and in fact, perhaps has not been home in quite some time. For in the middle of Zikran's sanctum, in a space that looks like it has been, slightly redecorated for the preferences of a creature that is not, traditionally humanoid in structure, is a large bronze dragon, perhaps young looking, but still quite large looking bronze dragon that has redecorated Zikran's sanctum into a cave befitting his statuary. So there's lots of glowing stones. There's piles of coral. There's some kind of laboratory equipment and whatnot that has kind of been just pushed aside and looks in disrepair. And the bronze dragon, which is wearing kind of a crown of coral, they have art of that. They provided art of that in this adventure. Has noticed Nyasa Nightweaver pop open the door to its inner sanctum, and it is staring at you, Nyasa.
I thought I was being stealthy.
Is
Is
it moving? Are we sure it's not a statue?
So far, just staring, which statues, I guess, not only can do, kind of have to do by lack of blinking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Give it a
but
poke.
we don't trust statues here generally, so it's not really.
Would you like to
helping.
roll some kind of perception or nature to make a statue check?
I'd like to roll poke, please.
I am. Yeah, okay. Let's see. What have we got? Nature check. Not great.
You're right by the ocean. You should be able to get some really good poke.
Wow.
Nice.
Well, I rolled a 16. Does it look like a dragon?
The dragon, his nostrils are slightly kind of flaring over and over again. So that which would be, I mean, I think we can rule out statue. It could be a very clever animatronic. You do live in a world with magic, so it could always be an illusion, or it could just be a dragon.
Did the book take us to the Jim Henson workshop?
Jim Henson is not in this world a evil monstrosity that imprisons genies in books. Two art so far.
Sad.
Yeah.
Well, since I've been seen, might as well open the door, walk in, and say, "Hello."
Surrender.
We no, I'm gonna go with something more like, so we all brought you some gold.
The dragon kind of roars and kind of rears up a little bit, kind of fanning his wings to demonstrate how kind of majestic and impressive he is. And Nyasa, do you speak?
I
I'm
do
blanking
speak
on the
Draconic.
Draconic.
I do.
Oh, okay. Well, the dragon turns out is kind of greeting you formally, and the dragon says, "You have crossed the threshold of my lair. I am Ashgarlith. State your business."
Bless you.
Well, I'm Nyasa Nightweaver, and these are my colleagues. And
Hello.
you just stick your head right the door. And as I previously mentioned, we have come this way to bring you an offering of gold. And we will.
Hey, we're looking for somebody. Don't forget
Yes,
that part. And
I was getting to that bit. Flattery.
don't give away my gold. Okay, go ahead.
Flattery first. And we were also wondering if you knew anything about the lowly person that you took this particular hideout from.
The dragon speaks. Nyasa Nightweaver, you may approach with your tribute. You and your friends are welcome here.
So I turn
I
around.
know not of who owned this lair before I have been here for some time.
I turn around.
Behold my treasures. The dragon kind of spins, gesturing both with a wing and an arm. Honestly, a lot of the stuff in here, Nyasa, especially to your trained assassin eye, does not really pass a lot of your appraisal check. A lot of it, I mean, I guess it's that kind of the cheap beauty of nature in terms of there's a lot of like shiny rocks and some, big chunks of coral and they are kind of arranged nicely, but like street value,
Is
basically
that a
nothing.
little unusual for a bronze dragon to favor, I don't know, beauty and nature over just piles and piles of gold?
I mean,
Give me
Feels
a
like
uh,
out of
a
character.
nature check.
Lempus.
Lempus, sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
I was fishing for your last name, but that was we're on a first name basis.
Sure. Let's see.
last name's
Nature. That's a
Farnham.
16.
16. You would know that bronze dragons are a little dragons all like to have some kind of hoard. Dragons are very into collecting things, and usually that comes in the form of things that would also be of material wealth to adventurers such as yourself. But it is there do come times when dragons, especially metallic dragons, hoard other things, and I think bronze dragons in particular are known to be maybe your less traditional dragons. Some bronze dragons are particularly kind of uh, fixated on their love of the sea and of ships and things from the ocean. So in some ways, this is a lovely little den for a bronze dragon. You've even heard tale of bronze dragons that your particularly nerdy bronze dragons that take their hoard in the form of information and secrets. But this bronze dragon seems to be more interested in sparkly things that are colorful as opposed to gold
Okay.
and silver and jewels and
I turn
whatnot.
around to my esteemed colleagues and say, give me anything you've got that's shiny. We need to make a good impression here.
God.
And
What do I have
so
shiny?
the adventurers valiantly search through their pockets for things that might be
I thought we
shiny.
were already accepted. Why are we shoveling out more here?
Well,
Well,
because I
Nyasa has
made
promised something,
I
but I
made
don't think
like-
Accepted to
actually
present.
I don't
Yes.
think has
Stuff.
actually put anything on the floor.
I'm not presenting to a dragon. That boy's big.
I
There's
live in
no-
the library. I don't have money.
Yeah, I
haven't
don't
had
think that
money
there is
in like
as yet no
70
cash on the
years.
Spent
barrel.
all my money on everything.
Okay, so
Is there
Nyasa's
anything in the anteroom that we're all standing in that looks shiny or fancy? in any
I
way?
don't.
No.
That's
You
like
think the dragon's keeping his best stuff right outside his lair, like
Well, maybe he
like
uses a different entrance.
like a take one leave one penny situation, but for treasure.
this is
Got a
like
bag
going.
of sand. You want a bag of sand?
This is like going round for a date and picking flowers
We have
out
this
of the
closet.
garden.
He's kind of shiny.
How dare you?
All right. Given that none of my party have come up with anything, I kind of
Just checking Ashgar's stats here as I get ready to murder you all.
I get like a reasonable pile of gold coins and some shiny
James, what have we
stuff.
said about tracking your money in the
Well,
past?
this is the thing. I am now tracking it, so I know I actually have some.
Oh,
Because
okay.
I'm a courtier, I'm assuming that's how you pronounce courtier. I
It's not
do
pronounced
have in my
courtier.
character, in my built-in items, a vial of perfume. I'm guessing that's a very fancy and shiny and sparkly vial of perfume, which
I think it's got to be, right?
I
Yeah.
would be pretty happy to divest myself of. I know where I can get some more, so it's not a big deal.
Okay, we add
So
that.
I'll at least add that to the pile.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
I
I'm-
like reach into my pocket and I've got like a ship in a bottle that I just happen to have on
Oh,
me.
okay.
And I put that at the top because it's a nautical motif.
I will
nice.
say that would probably carry a lot of favor with a nautically inclined dragon such as this.
According to my extremely accurate image profile picture in D&D Beyond, I have some what looks like sparkly like a, is it a cape if it's around, I don't know, the little fabric that you put down under a saddle. But that's like attached to the horse's chest with
But
like some
are we gonna have
sparkly
to are we gonna
coinage
have
things.
to Photoshop your avatar to not have that anymore?
No, I'm just saying I could maybe like take a coin from the front part of it or something.
I thought you were
Okay.
giving us like a
Off of
little
that.
velvet pillow
I'm
that
just
we
trying to
could put the
I'm
stuff
trying to
on.
differentiate here between what are lovely offerings that you could make to a dragon versus who is basically looking for spare change in their pockets to throw
Right,
on the
right.
ground.
But like I'm going to present, like take off the little piece of it and present
Okay.
it as a piece of my heart. Like a
Oh.
piece of, like, it's traveled, it's
Aw.
journeyed with me, it has
Street
emotional
There's a
status.
story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
like this.
It
Okay.
says here I also
So-
have some soap.
I mean, dragons need to be clean.
Maybe I could whittle
Lembas,
something out
you-
of this.
you've got soap and a perfume. You're
I'm a
very,
courtier.
yeah, you're very fragrant.
Very clean.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Clean and smells good.
that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. That seems like
I don't think soap has previously been mentioned in all of Total Party Kill. So
Well, okay, it's a first time for everything.
Yeah. So all right.
Usually
So
we
I
just
feel
use
like
some sort of spell to clean blood and crap off our robes.
I feel like Lempus is has a good offering. Nyasa, I think ship in a bottle is pretty good. Hermione, you got a sparkly thing
Lempus
from
stepping
your
forward.
saddle. Cyril and Polly, do you have anything, or is somebody else going to need to make an offering on your behalf?
I mean, Paulie's all about rocks and stuff, so surely there's some.
Sparkly rock.
Yeah.
Oh, I can do magic stones. Hold on. As a cantrip. Yeah, I touch
long-
some rocks
how
and I
long
make
did-
a magic.
How long did this last?
Doesn't matter. How long
doesn't
does it
know.
need to last?
Yeah, he
long
doesn't
as
know.
Yeah, exactly.
Long enough.
All right, Polly, you enchant some stones. I imagine you probably you've got stones in your pocket ready to be enchanted, so you enchant them while they're in your pocket so that it doesn't look like you just All right,
I do love enchanting some pocket stones.
Cyril, our dusty library patron. I think we're
You got a
we're
plan?
looking for
Ask me what
something.
my plan is.
All right, what's your plan, Cyril?
I will dramatically take out a bag of sand from my pocket and I'll reach in and toss some sand into the air. And when I do that, I will also cast Prestidigitation to create a instantaneous, harmless sensory effect, such as a shower of sparks, a puff of wind, faint musical notes, or an odd odor. It's going to be a shower of multicolored sparks mixed in with the sand to make it look
Okay.
like the sand is very fancy.
All right.
Ooh.
Nyasa, you did promise gold, so I think this is you gotta put some gold in there just to make good on your word. 'Cause
Yeah.
So far, no gold.
Okay, I'm gonna put in 25 gold
Ooh,
pieces.
I feel like anything less than 50 might be an insult.
Put it all in.
All right, fine. Nobody else got any gold on them, perhaps? All the other people
I
keeping
just
track
have
of your
bus
gold?
fare, so
Yeah.
Nyasa
Can't
puts
keep
in
that up.
50 gold, making a mental note that she is going to extract the rest of the gold from the party when they sleep.
As
As
you
opposed
guys
to
stop-
all of the other stuff that you take that nobody
Yeah.
else gets. I think
If you
can
guys-
cover this.
Just
Stop buying
rushing
those
forward to
expensive
volunteer the
lattes.
party's
yeah.
inventory. I don't know.
Look,
Also-
I speak Draconic. I've had training in dragon relations.
Well,
oh boy.
Wow.
I've got like 3 spells that'll let me speak Draconic. You ain't special.
I don't need to use magic. Look, the party
right,
is
and
like
s-
bitching at
Because
each
you
other.
can't.
And so you make your offerings, some of them seeming to be somewhat more of a performance in terms of making the air sparkle versus specific offerings. But give me let's just make sure that this works. Give me a charisma check there, Nyasa, as the leader of the group. And I will say you have advantage based on the high quality of
I like the
gifts.
fact that I've been promoted to leader.
Right.
temporary leader, acting leader.
As I bring forth my offerings, I want to make a great show of respect for Ashgarlith. Laying
Okay.
out the whole, oh, great Ashgarlith, destroyer of weak, and all that good stuff.
Oh no.
And just try to assist Nyasa in any way
Excellent.
possible.
I like the sound of that. Okay, well that
So you have
is-
advantage.
well, let's do that again. I got a 19 which plus a 3, but 16 plus a 3. So yeah, I think that is a 22.
All right. As Scarlet kind of folds his wings closer to his body to kind of not look as intimidating and like bows low with his mighty head at the end of his long neck and says, "These are gracious offerings. Please stay a while. My home is your home."
Thank you. That's very kind of you.
That's so nice.
Oh, great Ashgarlith, maker of great hordes. Would you be so kind as to allow us to look about your fantastic domicile here and perhaps get a feel for your greatness more fully by doing so?
You may look, but please look with your eyes only.
Oh boy.
The only thing we can look with.
All right. So I want to kind of scout around and see if there's anything that looks like an
All right.
obvious
Yeah.
I'm gonna cast
anyone-
detect
remnant
magic.
from the previous occupant.
Anyone who wants to search around, and I feel like the cavern is pretty well kind of delineated between Ashgarlet's precious collections and trash from previous owners here that has just been kind of shoved to the side. I would like an investigation check from anyone who is gonna kind of try and search around in a respectful way.
I'm gonna.
Tony, I'm casting
Mhm.
detect magic.
Remind me what detect magic gives you.
Well,
detects
the
magic.
duration, I can sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of me, and the duration is 10 minutes.
Mhm.
If I sense magic in this
Stepped
way,
in
I
at
can
this
use
point.
my action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic, and you learn its school of magic, if any. It can penetrate most barriers, but is blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, which is a special metal, or 3 feet of wood or dirt.
Okay, I'm gonna say that none of Asgarlet's kind of treasure trove is magic. I mean, I think in a way we're all a little magic, and Asgarleth is really big, so he's a little magical. I don't think that's accurate to detect
Is his
magic.
crown magical?
His crown is not. His crown seems to be
Ah.
beautiful pieces of coral that someone has assembled. Probably not him, just from a crafting perspective, but maybe a previous visitor.
Right.
There is, in the kind of piles of trash that have been pushed off into one corner, it looks like a bunch of furniture, maybe even some laboratory equipment that has just been kind of shoved out of the way. Some of it's a little just waterlogged, suggesting that it's probably been here for quite a long time. And, there's definitely some humidity and moisture issues with this cavern. You are getting some faint magical hits off of that.
I ended up with a 22 on my investigation check.
All
for what
right.
that's worth.
I got a 27.
27, 22.
La-di-da.
Sorry.
You're going to find different things. That's how it's going to work here. So, Lempus, you are looking around and you find an old, soggy book. It looks like it might be
Sounds great.
some kind of some kind of diary, journal, research notes. Parts of it are kind of all smudged and the pages are all, molded together, but parts of it are still legible. Meanwhile, Sarah, you're poking around. You're kind of focused on things that are magical in nature, and you find kind of like tacked up in the corner, like behind some smashed furniture, there's a bunch of diagrams. And I'm just going to tell you, based on, because you're already using detect magic, these diagrams seem to depict a magical device. They are like blueprints for building a magical device that would be powered by elemental air.
Sounds familiar.
Anyone else want to poke around or just
I'll
sit and chat with a dragon and be real friendly like?
I mean, the dragon seems quite nice. And I'm basically translating for everyone, I think. Because I can do it naturally. I don't need magic.
Well, I assume the dragon speaks common too.
Yeah, but it's
I
like the
speak
French. They do.
Common, if you prefer.
I can switch to Draconic if you prefer that from me.
Oh, whatever will make you comfortable.
Oh no, it's whatever makes you comfortable, great dragon.
Oh, but you are guests in my
Oh, but
home.
you are great and we are but weak.
Hey,
It's
can I have
true.
this diagram here? Do you need this?
Oh,
So much couth.
please. I have no interest in that. Do you want to
Great,
roll
thanks.
Arcana on that diagram as you're poking around at it, Cyril?
Dirty 20.
All right. Um, it's some kind of magical cannon that would be powered by elemental air, and I'm gonna say that you study it, you know how it would work based on these the studying of this blueprints. Um, it would be when I say know how it works, you know the basic mechanics of how it would be powered and how it would be operated. The key thing is that it would be fired by somebody by use of a command word. You do not know what the command word is, but seems like Zikran was working on some kind of device.
I'll have a poke around in the rubbish.
Okay. You're looking around at kind of similar pile to where Cyril was, um, and you find a map of the Sword Coast that seems to be kind of heavily marked up with different locations and paths, seemingly probably from this area of the Sword Coast, kind of little dotted lines leading off to other locations, and some various notes about stuff that have been written and then scratched out. But it's a little hard to decipher what's going on here. But it's definitely a map of the,
No,
geographic area. I wouldn't say necessarily near you, but including areas near you.
nothing handy written on it like "Go here next." Backup location.
Give me an intelligence check.
Well, that's not going to be good. So I rolled a 1.
Okay.
I hand it off to
Paul-
Cyril because
Okay, I was gonna say Paulie notices that you're holding the map upside down.
What you doing, friend?
look, I'm charismatic. I'm just not very bright. But I know
The blue part is the water.
Thought the blue part was the sky.
Ooh.
So yes, I hand it to Cyril and say, I think this is your area.
Well, it's this area.
Anything else?
I
While
don't
this
know.
sparkling discussion is going on, Lempus looks up at Ash Garlith and says, "This book here, it's drab and unattractive, and it reeks of mildew. Might I take it from your sight to improve the resale value of your hoard?"
Please, I insist.
All right. Lempus scoops it up.
Did I
and
mention that
tucks it away.
Asgarlith is a Midwestern dragon?
I have never seen an episode of Hoarders go this well in my life.
Oh, we're gonna find some dead cats for sure.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no, we never go to the dragon's horde who hoards cats.
This map.
Escapism.
What do I do with this map? You want a test of some sort, or
Yeah, I'll take an intelligence check. There's also I will mention that Lempus knows that they have a book that might be interesting as well.
I got an 18.
All right. You are studying the map when you hold it right side up. And then remind us, Cyril, what languages do you speak? Or read and write,
Celestial,
perhaps?
Common, Elvish, and Halfling. Is there a language on here I can't speak?
No, but there are some notes, and it seems like perhaps they were written in some kind of like short form version of Elven, which is, sometimes a language that sorcerers and wizards use as their kind of laboratory language. You notice there's a bunch of notes basically about different locations that are kind of north and east of where you currently are, kind of inland, and many of them lead up into there's these little dotted lines leading up into the mountains, and a bunch of them have kind of notes about like, nope, no good, this one's no good, but there is one that is marked that as like here, exclamation point. And I will say that looking at that map and deciphering it, that particular area is known as the Cloud Peaks.
I like the fact that Nyasa, who speaks Elvish, looked at the map, did not see the word here, and
I also speak Elvish. You see, it's a little it's not formal Elvish. It's like a shorthand that mages use. I saw this symbol here once when I was reading a book about the history of billiards. It was fascinating. A mage had tried to solve the game. So that's how I knew this symbol. This symbol cut forward 2 hours. And anyway, that's how I got it.
There's sort of a deep snoring throughout the cavern because the dragon
Sometime later.
Ashgarleth claps loudly with his big lizardy dragon hands, which probably alerts all of you. Well told, Cyril. It has been so long since visitors have told me about billiards.
This dragon's cool. I might move in.
I'm not sure this is a roommate situation.
I don't know.
I'm shy. Well, I can be shiny. Give me my soap back.
You and the dragon could take turns washing each other's backs.
That sounds bad.
Okay.
What's
Family
that book you got
podcasting.
there, Lemp?
Perhaps we should look at it once we've left the area.
Well, I think we shall bid you goodbye, Great Dragon. Thank you for your wonderful hospitality. By the way, we dealt with your ghost problem, so that's all cleaned out.
Mates.
Thank you for these lovely gifts. Please return anytime you have such wonderful tributes to share.
It has been our pleasure to be allowed to add to your great hoard. Just thought I might ask once more if perhaps you've run across anything from the previous resident with whom we wished to have a discourse.
I don't think so. He must have left in somewhat of a hurry to leave all this trash behind.
Any mail you want forwarded?
No.
Well, thank you again. We'll be on our way. Shall we leave this door open, or do you want it closed?
Oh, just if you could close it, that'd be great.
Great.
And Ashgarla kind of curls up on the dais where you found him.
On the dais.
Later, Gita.
Good job not having to fight a young bronze dragon. So
It seems like a bad idea.
Yeah.
Young. Let's get back in there.
It's just whenever there's a token that is like too wide.
Don't bite the too wide token. That's,
Yeah,
that's
that's my good lesson. But you all
guys, there was a dragon in a dungeon. This finally the
I
game has
know.
delivered
Oh,
on what
yeah.
it promised.
I didn't even
So
realize.
I mean, I wouldn't really call it a dungeon since it's more of a cave complex, and dungeon implies some sort of external manipulation of the walls.
All right, fine.
Yeah, I
Dungeons
mean, it's
and dragons and layers and dragons.
Semi-flooded real estate.
Okay, fine. Caves and creatures.
copper dragon. Oh wait, no, he's a bronze dragon.
He's bronze. It's different.
Wrong metal.
Yeah, wrong metal. Yeah, they take that very seriously.
He didn't hear me.
Right. Let's get out of this place.
We'll assume you head south. You leave Zikran's
outta
lost
here.
laboratory. You are in a back in there. There's kind of the antechamber that's not flooded that leads into his laboratory. You know that you've got a bit of a swim ahead of you to get out of the sunken cave.
Yeah, before we get too far out, I'd like to
mhm.
look over this book since it's already
All
in
right.
pretty bad shape.
All right,
Um,
Lempus. It is pretty waterlogged, but there are definitely parts of it that are still legible.
Yeah, I'm wondering if I can use like prestidigitation to clean some of the liquid
Oh
out
yeah,
of
do
it.
that.
Mending.
I'll do
Mending
that.
could help.
I don't have mending, and that's usually more of like a stick two things together thing, isn't it?
Yeah, mending
Well.
is super glue.
But I will try to prestidigitate all of the excess
Mm.
water out.
Yeah, I
as much as
imagine that
can.
like you magically like the whole book is kind of like twisted like a sponge and just like a significant amount of seawater and a little bit of ink drips out.
Oh, that's not great.
Well, what are you gonna do?
Oh, rats! I forgot ink starts as a liquid.
Yep. Lumpus, I'm gonna put the legible bits of text in the Roll20 chat, and maybe you would like to read some selections to us of what remains. This does indeed seem to be some kind of diary or journal from Zikran. It is handwritten in a very kind of rushed, not very legible script.
Okay. And it's common that I'm reading here?
Yeah, we'll say it's common.
Okay. This book contains the following, at least as far as I can make out, in common. Laffa is coming for me. That's Laffa, in case you were wondering. It doesn't seem like a very intimidating name, but this author seems to have been very concerned about it. Laffa is coming for me. I feel his dry, dusty hand reaching over my shoulder. A little bit farther along, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. We have, has he not taken enough? Now he wants to steal my finest design. Never. Let's see, a bit of illegible junk here, and then we get to, that creep needs a bath. One day I'll wash him right into the abyss.
No, we shouldn't have given away our soap.
Sorry for him, he didn't have soap. That's why I always bring some with me. I feel naked now without mine. Let's see here. A crab moved into the reservoir, grotesque and large and hiding in the sand. I swear its beady eyes are looking at my notes. A little farther along, we find this. My golem isn't worth a damn. If that crab can creep by, then Laffa can too. Interesting. We might want to be on the lookout for a golem.
And a crab.
A little farther along. Oh, you might find this interesting, since you've said that. Is the crab Laffa himself? He is here, stealing my designs, with his claws and his beady eyes. The author appears a bit unhinged. Well, I will not be robbed again. No, I am no longer safe down here. I am no longer safe at sea level. I must go up, 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 up. He's always got his nose in the ground. Laffa will never even think to look up in the air. Then he will feel the wrath of Zikran from the sky above. So it appears that this was written by Zikran. Interesting.
As you finish reading, a little crab scurries across the floor by you. Its little pinchers clacking menacingly. Clack, clack.
Oh,
And
I
then it
don't
keeps
happen to
going.
think that little crab that crawled away was the grotesque and large and hiding in the sand crab of lore.
We should take the crab with us just to mess with Zikran. Just release it in his lair.
If
I
that
will
crab
ask-
was this Laffa guy, he just heard everything. So
I will ask you to make sure if you offered Ashgarleth things from your inventory to make sure you update that you no longer have
I have
those things, including James giving away most of his gold
not
and then
most.
later claiming he has lots of gold.
I have 187 gold pieces left.
Okay.
I would like to capture the crab, please.
Okay. Roll an easy nature check.
22.
All right. What are you capturing it in?
My little bag of no.
Oh no.
I have a bag of holding.
Oh,
No.
I forgot what happens when you put a living thing in a bag of holding.
Can I put
Haven't we
it?
done it before?
Can I put the crab into my decanter of endless water?
I don't know how big do you think the mouth on that decanter is?
Like this big, but you said it was a small crab.
It is a small crab. If you think it's crab sized, I'll allow it.
Yeah, I'm picturing like people will not make sense of this, but one of the vials that was behind me earlier.
Oh, what a great and very
Yes.
specific visual.
Especially for an audio podcast.
Mm-mm.
All
All
I
right.
like about it is even people who can see it don't know.
How about
Breathing
this? So we're gonna
creatures
imagine.
inside the bag can survive up to a number of minutes equal to 10 divided by the number of creatures.
So not very long.
10 minutes. Long enough.
You can put your crab in your. I imagine it's the mouth is kind of Nalgene bottle sized. You can get a crab in there.
Great.
Now you have an infinite supply of crab juice
Say.
or crab flavored water. Also, your decanter now always kind of makes a little like scrabbling, scratching noise wherever you go.
Wow. Cool. Bonus.
Fancy.
We got another friend.
All right, so this map.
The crab is not your friend. You've kidnapped this crab.
We've taken it from this nightmare
Natural
situation.
habitat where it lives.
It was haunted. There was a dragon.
Oh
I
my
think the crab was
gosh.
fine.
So this map says up this mountain, up here.
Zikran's gonna be so happy to see his crab.
We'll get such
I
a
will
reward.
mention you do. No one has talked to Gazra Azam recently, who still lives in a book that Cyril is carrying.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
Do we want
I
to
know
show
about
him
this
our crab?
Latha.
yeah. Let's get out
Look
of
what
the
we
cave.
found.
Let's get
All
out
right.
of the cave entirely. Then I'll open the book and
All right,
summon
you're
this
standing
dude.
on the beach, a short walk from Zikran's laboratory, and you open the book, Cyril.
Boop.
I should have written down performance notes for what does Gazra Azam sound like.
Hey, Gazra Azam. Guess who
Cyril.
caught crabs?
My friend and others, did you
Oh.
successfully find anything of note in the laboratory? I see we've already left.
There's a young bronze dragon in there. It's not Zikran. He doesn't live here anymore.
No, Zikran is not, nor ever has, nor ever will be a dragon, so long as I breathe.
You breathe?
Seems like a strange thing to take
That's
a stand about, but here I am.
You're an air genasi. I thought you were breath, not you did breathe. That's
I am-
fascinating.
I
How
am
does
what
your
I am.
respiration work?
It's complicated.
Phlogiston? Is phlogiston involved?
I know not these terms.
Anyway, looks like we're going here on this map. Points to map.
Ah, yes.
All
And
the way up here is where we're going.
the
All
cloud
of this
peaks.
effort to save you is what we're going to be doing. Just
And you will be
reminding you.
well repaid, for I will
Okay,
grant
good.
you a wish.
Okay. Yep.
Right, that's
As
right.
I have
we're
said
all going to
before.
Yep.
share a
Each of us
wish.
will get a wish. Yep.
You will share a wish, and it will unite you in friendship and heroism. For the cloud peaks are dangerous. They were home to a clan of cloud giants who, I believe, still rule over that terrain.
So they
But
are
surely
home to a-
adventurers such as you will defeat these mighty giants and write your names in history with their blood.
We found some interesting information about Zikran. Perhaps we can run this by you.
Please.
There's something here about a golem. Are you aware of a golem protecting Zikran? And
He
perhaps
has a
whether-
variety of creatures, and I believe he did have a construct made of clay and mud that served him in the laboratory. I suspect the creature is still with him.
There's also something here about a crab. You know anything of this?
I know not of any crabs.
How about this giant cannon that it looks like he might have had you powering?
I do not know of this. Perhaps this was work that he did after I was filed away.
Does the name Lafa mean anything to you?
Oh yes, Lafra
Got one.
is Zikran's rival. Zikran is obsessed with him. I'll be honest. I'm not sure if Lafa is aware of Zikran.
Who
How
is
do you
Zafa?
feel about
Zafa.
crabs?
I am neutral on crabs.
Okay. Okay.
Do you happen to have a picture of this Laffa or something like that I could take a look at?
Could you put it in the chat?
Gazra Azam looks around, and you're on a beach, and Gazra Azam is an air genasi, so Gazra Azam just kind of sculpts like a beautiful, amazingly detailed kind of sand sculpture of Lafa, and Lafa takes the form of a dwarven wizard in kind of just a very dynamic pose with like a staff over his head, and Gazra Azam says, "I apologize, I didn't get the ears quite right, but he looks something like this."
I would like to cast scrying.
Okay.
I-
And remind us what scrying does.
Scrying lets me see and hear a particular creature I choose that is on the same plane of existence as me.
Mhm.
So the way it works is they have to make a wisdom save, which is modified by how well I know them.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll get a +5 on their save because I have heard of them.
Okay.
You've
But
seen a fabulously
-2.
detailed
Yep.
version of them. So.
They get a -2 because I have a likeness or picture of them. So a
You
total
do.
of +3 on their wisdom save.
All right, +3 wisdom save for Lafa, the dwarven wizard. I have rolled. Do you tell me the number that I'm trying to get to, or
18.
Oh, I did not get anywhere near 18. You have an image of a dwarven wizard, and he seems to be accompanied by a group, a trio of other. They look like they are all adventurers, muddy boots, some weary-looking ponies, and they are kind of crossing on atop a hill. And you see in the distance like a little town and a giant stone hand rising up out of it.
Oh.
Oh. Oh.
How many fingers are on this hand?
Oh boy.
Totally normal number, -1. Sure,
Um,
I don't know. I don't know if you have any.
4?
I don't know if you have any familiarity with that, with stone hands or villages. They're not libraries.
It looks like he's out adventuring. This Lafa guy really gets stuff done, unlike Zikran. He's at a town that I know all about. I read all the history, but I don't have time to go into it now.
Oh, come on, please.
In a town of White Sparrow.
We haven't paid the money for that one. There's a puff of smoke, and Nyasa transforms into Lafa, and it's just trying this one out. I think this could be useful later.
Gazrazam says, "Well, this is my fault, but the ears are not quite right, friend. Your ears."
I try and just get them like this, just slightly smaller, or
Gazrazam is floating around you, looking on beats. And now I'm not sure if I'm remembering it correct. Cyril, you just saw him. Are these? What do you think?
He didn't have ears. That's the first thing I noticed about this guy. No ears at all.
Oh, something horrible must have happened to him in the interim.
Well, we don't know if Zikran
Gazrazam adjusts his sand sculpture.
I pull my ears in.
He pulls a wizard hat slightly lower down to cover the ears.
Yeah, he had glasses. They were just falling down because he didn't.
Tragic.
Well, these are all good notes. So my plan is to walk in there with a crab on my shoulder as Lafa and see what happens.
I like how you are both a hero, but also a horrible person. I'm just, specializing in psychological warfare.
I feel that's true of my characters and myself.
And James Thompson.
Yes, me against you personally. Right. I'll transform back because I don't want to be a dwarf for the rest of this adventure.
Okay. Well, Gazrazam offers, I suppose it will take several days' travel to reach the heights of the Cloud Peaks, but I am with you through thick and thin. And then Gazrazam says, I'll be in the book. And it goes back into your books here.
Do we want to have any rests before we go up this mountain?
Yeah, we should have some.
Yeah.
All right. You camp out on the beach near Zikran's laboratory, knowing that you have a hard day of travel ahead of you, or in fact, several hard days, because you will be trekking up into the mountains. And why don't you take the effect of a long rest? You talked to a dragon today. Took a lot out of you. There was some water. There was ghosts. You stole a crab.
Borrowed
A crab.
How okay, so I still am level 1 exhausted before my long rest. What do I say or do to, because it says I can recover 1 level of exhaustion during this rest, but requires food and drink.
You have
I'm guessing
we have some crab.
Exactly, 1 crab. Your adventures, you knew you were going out into the woods for, into the wilderness for a while. So you've got food and drink. I imagine, maybe
This is a multiple day trek, so surely our exhaustion.
Yeah.
be gone by the time we get to where we're going, right?
Yeah,
Sure,
you're fine.
everybody
have
knows that
multiple long
multiple
rests.
days of walking in the mountains always leaves you fresh and rested.
Fresh
Well,
and
you're
rested.
you're
Yep,
fresh
yep,
and
yep,
rested
yep.
before you head up into the mountains. You're gonna get exhausted again when you go.
And I'm no longer frightened, right? Because the
Correct.
ghost things are gone.
Yes, you're not afraid of. At least you are only afraid
Crabs.
of those ghosts, those specific ghosts. Yeah, you don't feel
I
good
ain't
about going
afraid of
back.
no ghosts.
Well, you don't feel good about going into any underwater caves, but
It's fine. It's very unlikely that something like that would
certainly
happen
if
again.
you did, you might not go with Nyasa and you might not touch any bodies.
Yeah.
This is a formative moment.
Tony, I have DM'd you on Zoom my new portent roles.
Oh. Can you remind me how I deal with those? Oh, those are you get to save those.
You
for
don't do
later.
anything with them. I just occasionally mess up
Yeah.
your whole game by saying this is what happened.
Nice.
And there's
Enjoy.
no save.
Yeah, there's no save against Monty. So, yeah, I will tell you, Monty, that the trip up into the mountains is going to take multiple days. In fact, I would say studying the map, it's probably at least a 3-day trek up into the mountains.
Well, on the first day, I'm going to cast I'm going to cast Legends Lore on this book that Lempus found.
Okay, what does that give you?
The spell brings to my mind a brief summary of the significant lore about the thing I named. The lore might consist of current tales, forgotten stories, or even secret lore that has never been widely known. If the thing you named isn't of legendary importance, you gain no information. Well, is this waterlogged book of nonsense about crabs legendary in any way?
Well, I think Zikran might be legendary, and I think you're going to even you're going to remember that Zikran was a somewhat well-known, somewhat notorious wizard who, he kind of had a variety of locations that he inhabited up and down the Sword Coast. And he frequently did not get along with whatever local townspeople were near him. And occasionally his experiments would go poorly, and adventuring parties would have to be recruited, and, things would have to be chased away. Various monsters or mechanical contraptions would be dismantled. And I think you might even kind of guess that perhaps in some related incident to that might have been how the tome, not the tome that you just cast the spell on, but the tome that contains Gazra Azam, maybe that is how it ended up in Candlekeep Library, is that one of Zikran's former locations might have been looted, or he might have had to leave in a hurry, and adventurers found it and handed it into the local library. So Zikran has a somewhat notorious reputation as a troublemaker on the Sword Coast. How's that?
All right. Thank you.
Cool. All right. I think we are headed toward the end of our episode here as you prepare for your trek into the sword, up inland from the Sword Coast up into the mountains of the Cloud Peaks. It's going to take you at least 3 days. You awaken the next day on the beach feeling relatively regenerated and rested for your trip. The first leg of the trip will be pretty much straightforward. You're headed toward the mountains, but it's just kind of over rolling countryside, a little bit of hilly terrain, not going to be into the mountains itself. But I think I'm going to need each of you to give me some kind of survival check. If you think you have some kind of skill or ability that makes traversing wilderness easier or better for you, perhaps you'll be able to negotiate that with me. Maybe you're going to cast a spell.
I have 4 legs, not 2.
4 legs good, 2 legs bad.
Yeah.
I'm extremely acrobatic, and I feel that rocks would not be a barrier.
I'll just point out, not the Olympics. This is walking places.
I don't suppose my exceptional perception would be of much help in such a situation.
Yeah, you point out every tree along the way. Your friends love it.
But I don't walk into any of them.
Well, I rolled a 31 in acrobatics just for reference.
All right, you cartwheel the
cartwheel.
entire way there. Your ankles are, exhausted, and your wrists are, getting a repetitive stress injury. Escapism.
I'll use the 19 that I rolled when I rolled my portent roll for the day. So clearly, I
Nice.
just had dreams that told me where to walk.
Okay, that is how your very boring dreams work. Um, uh,
Do I get advantage because I have 4 legs instead of 2?
no.
Okay.
I think your advantage is already built in, and that you probably have pretty high constitution, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a +5 on survival,
Tiff,
which is
do you have any-
great.
If your
since I
DM was
rolled-
Napoleon, you would definitely get an advantage. Tony's more of a
Tiff.
snowball.
Tiff, do you have referencing knowledge? Tiff, do you have some kind of nonsense?
Yeah, I got a lot of nonsense.
Thank you.
I am flush with nonsense. Okay, so I actually have mold earth, so that means I can, and it's a cantrip, so I
Yep.
can just mold this earth wherever I want.
Anywhere that there is a place that you might have had to step slightly over or under something, you just
Yep.
make a little bridge.
Smooth
All
it
So
right.
I can
Nice.
actually help out everybody. So
All
if we
right.
have any kind of, earth to be molded,
You mold that earth.
I mold the hell out of that earth. Yeah.
All
And I also
right.
got a 19 in survival.
Okay. So, Paulie, no trouble traveling of the wilderness. Cyril, you used your portented high roll for your survival check. Nyasa, how about a check that's not acrobatics based?
Fine. That is a 16 in survival.
That's good enough. You're traveling across the wilderness. It's not wearing you out too much. Hermione,
Thank goodness a 16 is okay, because that's what I rolled as well.
that's what you rolled. And Lempus.
And I got a 20. So
Okay, so everyone is fine. You're
Yay.
full of
level 10.
Yeah, you're feeling good. You're feeling good about things. I'm even going to tell you, good job, negotiating with Ashgarleth and not having to fight a dragon. I'm going to give you all inspiration for not fighting a dragon. That's the kind of thing
Sweet.
we reward on this podcast.
You're going to
not
have to
fighting
explain what
dragons.
that means, Tony, because I remember hearing about that once
Mm-mm.
many
The
years ago.
Well, if Cyril uses his knowledge of legendary things again, you would know that inspiration is a thing that the Dungeon Master can give you, where you have the opportunity at any point to use your inspiration to re-roll a roll that you just did that you didn't like the result
Oh, that sounds
of.
really cool. How come we've
There's
never
a-
done that?
There's a place
Yeah,
in
what a
D&D
good
Beyond
idea.
where you can check a box. If we were playing around a table, Dungeon Master might hand you a special D20. That D20 persists across sessions until you use it. You can even gift another player your inspiration, but you can't have more than one inspiration. So, you got to use it before you get more inspiration, which is a real problem in adventures where Dungeon Masters are just handing it out too much. Inspiration inflation, it's no good. It's a real significant problem that we're trying to get our hands on.
Boy, I hope I don't hang on to this inspiration 10 years until we get another inspiration. 'Cause
Mm.
that
I got
really
an
feels like a
inspiration at
waste.
the end of the last episode, and now I get one here, and I never used it.
Oh,
Yep. See, this is why I don't give it out, because people waste it. I'm just looking out for you. I don't want you to feel bad about wasting inspiration. On day 2, you wake up kind of in the foothills and head upward. At this point, you are now getting into the actual mountains. You're trudging up pretty steep incline. It is the woods are getting a little bit kind of more sparse as you occasionally make it above the tree line, and you can see the snowy peaks of the cloud peaks are pretty close ahead of you. You'll be there probably within an hour or two. Give me another survival check as you try and navigate this challenging terrain. I'm going to say that you need to get 15 or above on this.
Wait a
or
minute.
you
good
are
thing
It's
we've
a
all got
challenging
inspiration.
terrain.
or you risk exhaustion.
23.
But can't I move this challenging terrain? Like, isn't that the whole point?
You cannot move all the terrain. You can,
I rolled
What's the DC,
as a
Tony?
dwarf, you are well aware that it takes a lot to move a mountain.
Thankfully though, Polly is little and he can ride on the back of my 23 up the mountain.
If you're willing to carry Polly, you can give Polly advantage.
I am willing to carry Polly.
Okay.
Oh,
I've
Get
used
some
my
advantage.
inspiration to go from a 7 to a 15.
All right. Excellent.
I also rolled the just enough 15.
16.
I also got a 15.
All right. Way to cut it close, everybody.
Not me.
And so it's getting late in the day as you have pushed up past the snow line. It is not exactly the most hospitable place at this point. You've reached an area where you have to kind of cross a crevasse, but thankfully,
A what now?
a crevasse or crevice.
Just checking.
Someone has left a ancient, decrepit-looking rope bridge ahead of you, to make it getting from one side to the other. But this presents that challenge of who will cross the perilous, totally reliable bridge first.
Probably Nyasa, because
Okay.
she's an idiot.
I feel like this might actually be an acrobatics situation.
Can we inspect this bridge a little closer?
Oh,
first?
we
before
don't
all
need to
start
inspect
talking
it.
across it?
Wait, we can do things here.
We can do things here.
I would like to perceive whether this bridge is even remotely walk worthy.
I'd just like to go across the bridge.
And that is what is my my perception? That's a 21.
All right, Lempus, you study the bridge, and though it kind of, there's the sound of it kind of creaking as it sways in the cold, windy air. It does look relatively sturdy. It looks like all the boards are in place. There's no holes where where somebody has placed a foot to only sees the part of the bridge fall deep into the earth below. I mean, it doesn't look like it's going to be the most fun, and certainly if you were to fall off that bridge, you would be in big troubles. But the bridge itself looks, well constructed. You suspect dwarven craftsmanship.
All right.
At this,
Yeah.
Nyasa just hears the words.
At Lempus looking at a bridge.
Yeah.
There was probably a subtle nod as I, kicked the tires and
Okay.
found
So
some appreciation.
I make a break full speed at the bridge.
Okay. Roll acrobatics across the bridge. Other people do not need to do this, but Nyasa does.
I have again rolled a 31.
Okay. Nyasa, you cross the bridge quickly and effortlessly.
I give a thumbs up back to the other people.
Who dares go next?
Lempus steps up.
All right.
Just going to try to walk across the bridge.
All right, you walk across the bridge. The bridge kind of sways, but it's steady. As you get about halfway across Lempus, you hear the flapping of leathery wings.
I knew I should have looked up.
Well, but actually, up was not the problem. Rising from below, from beneath you, from in the crevice itself, are a variety of winged creatures. Your level 10 adventurers, you've been around for sometimes. These creatures look very kobold-like, except they have bat-like wings. They carry weapons and shields, and some of them have even armor around them, and they are flapping up from the chasm as if they bear you ill will. Will these kobolds defeat our adventurers and pull them down into this miserable icy cavern, or will our adventurers fall off the bridge themselves and take responsibility for their own deaths? For answers to questions such as these, tune in next time to Total Party Kill. Also, they might just fight the kobolds and win, but we'll find out next time on Total Party Kill. The
Kobolds
end.
in the crevice. That's never good.
For now.
Crevasse.
Kobolds in the crevasse.
Live stream / bootleg. I think we're going to take a 10-ish minute break and then continue with more Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay, but the kobolds keep getting added to the map.
Yeah,
I have added
more.
a good dozen or so kobolds to the map.
Okay, are they done? Are you done adding? Or you
I feel good about this number
Okay.
of kobolds.
I mean,
Okay.
Also, I messed up this map, so the grid doesn't work out quite right, but it's okay.
It's fine.
It's
Maybe
fine.
you should have considered an area of effect spell at some point. Just
And I will tell you, so I've arranged the kobolds. There are some probably just, if you are using area of effects, we have a two-dimensional map, but the kobolds are three-dimensional people. So you could imagine they're probably at different heights and whatnot. But anyway, I think we should pause here, take a break, and come back in 10 minutes. That work?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Sure.
I'll get it.
All right. So that'll be
Okay, we are back on the internet. Well, we're back
Must
on
have
one
its
bit of the
time.
internet. They're still making Mist. There's a new version just came out.
It makes me nauseous to play it in VR.
I wanted to try it.
Oh, it's horrible because like you can't really walk, so they want you to just kind of like, I don't know, do these like weird clicks to walk
Crab
places.
moves.
It's horrible. It makes me so sick.
I'll not be getting that then.
Mm-mm. Unless they've updated it in like the last 2 years. I don't know.
And begin.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Dungeon and Dragon.
I need chapstick.
Maybe even more than one of each.
I don't have the budget for that.
Thanks for the reminder, too.
Oh, you bet you do.
There you go. Just put your lips on your camera and we'll.
Is that how it works?
Yep.
That's
Totally.
not how it works.
Shh.
I'll
It's
just
totally
sit
how
here
it works.
Picking it. It's fine. That'll be attractive. Slowly biting it off. It's just fine.
Yeah. Do you want to play another hour of D&T? How you doing?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, great energy.
Go team.
Go team.
I had more energy for the crab puppet, but you know.
Yeah.
I know.
You can don't let me tell you not to puppet a crab.
I think regardless of what happens, we're going to puppet a crab at some point.
Interesting.
Just to see if it works. You know.
We should
Everybody
probably be doing
puppets a
that
crab at
now
some time in
so
life.
we're ready, right? We don't
Right?
want the
All
first
right.
time to be on the day.
Yeah, you guys should have been. You guys, you know.
Should have been puppeting the crab for weeks.
Maybe
Yeah.
not in the middle of
Has
the fight.
anyone been feeding this crab that we're carrying with us, or is it definitely dead?
Well, if it's definitely dead, we can puppet
Oh,
it
it's dead.
easily.
I'm sorry. I'll pour it out.
Does a crab die in like 3 days? I don't know.
Gotta feed
Well,
it.
also, it occurred to me that I put it in when it was salt water, but then I've been pouring out fresh water to keep myself moist.
Oh no.
So
Oh no.
the salinization is not good for it.
Oh, it's all brackish. I'm gonna ask each of you before we start to roll initiative, so that and then I'll probably introduce you in initiative order, and we'll because you're being attacked by kobolds. Just to be clear.
I got 14.
Come on.
Wow. I got a 15, which is pretty good since I have a -1 initiative.
Nice.
I have a +4 initiative. I just rolled badly.
How do you get multiple initiative pluses and minuses? I've always played a 0 initiative character.
Dexterity, and also there are some feats.
Magic items and feats.
Ah,
I think-
got it.
I've got great feats.
Don't you also
looks
add,
like
something.
Everybody but Cyril has put theirs. Okay. Oh, good
Little
news.
Antony will sit this one out too. He is
The wing kobold has
just a pain in the butt.
okay. The wing kobolds has rolled higher than all of you.
Great.
So,
That
We'll
should go well
introduce
for us.
them first.
great news.
Every single one. I want all their names.
Yeah.
Mm. Well, there's
This is your
Kobe
punishment
and
for
Kobe
having
2,
12.
Kobe 3. Kobe 4. All right, let's see here. Let's get started. How do I do that? I think I usually say
At least if they're all named Kobe, we know they'll won't be flying for much longer.
Oh,
Oh, oh, Steve. Oh.
Well, that'll be edited.
Ah.
Wow.
Happy to get
Yep.
that in before the episode starts.
Yep.
Welcome
Yep.
back to Total Party Kill. It's me, Tony Sindelar, a dungeon master. I use he, him pronouns, and today we are continuing Zikran's Zephyrean Tome. Allow me to introduce our players in initiative order, because that's right, they're being attacked by sky kobolds. They're like normal kobolds, but in the sky. First up in the initiative order, first up in our hearts, it's Kathy Campbell. Welcome back, Kathy.
Thank you, Tony. Hermione is here to save the day, wishing, though, that she was not a centaur fighter, but instead was a Pegasus fighter. I don't know if that's an option. I may need to look at that, but that would mean a horse with wings, which means that I could fly with them.
Also joining us, it's Steve Lutz.
Yeah, it's me, Steve Lutz, second in your heart, which I guess makes me what? Left ventricle or something? But I am also playing Olympus Barden, a tiefling bard, and man about town.
Mhm. Also joining us, it's Monty Ashley.
Hello, I am playing Cyril, a old, excitable, small turtle.
Also joining us, it's James Thompson.
I'm James Thompson, and he, him, and Nyasa Nightweaver, she, her. A high elf rogue who lives at the intersection of chaotic and neutral.
Also joining us, it's Tiff Arnett.
Hey, playing Poorly Quartz, the rock gnome druid, fifth in your heart.
All right, as determined by your dexterity modifiers, for our adventurers have been sent on a mission to free the imprisoned Jinn, Gazra Azam, by hunting down his old master, one Zikran, from the name of the adventure, a weird kind of deranged wizard man scientist who apparently has traveled up into the cloud peaks to a remote section of the mountains, and our adventurers have been trekking through the wilderness after scouting out a watery, abandoned laboratory looking for Zikran. And on their second day of travel up in the snowy peaks, crossing a rickety rope bridge, strange winged kobolds have kind of flapped up out of a crevasse and are making menacing, attacking movements in their direction. What will happen? We'll find out right now because the winged kobolds beat everybody else's initiative roll.
Oh,
So these kobolds, they are armed with weapons, and they have got little shields, little chainmail shirts, but big bat-like wings, and they are going to open up by basically they're kind of flapping all around you, and they're just going to start by attempting to drop rocks on people as opposed to flapping down and fighting you face to face because hey, they got wings, they might as well use them. Now, you do have the challenging situation here that you are outnumbered, basically 2 to 1 from kobolds that are going to be attacking you. And I think the kobolds are going to try and use the fact that you are spaced out a little bit from crossing this bridge to their advantage. 4 kobolds are going to flap over and try and get Nyasa Nightweaver. And I think 5 kobolds are going to go for Olympus,
Yeah, that sounds
who's in
great.
the middle of the bridge, and then 1 kobold for Polly, 1 kobold for Cyril, and what the heck, 1 kobold for Hermione. So again, they're flying, so you might imagine all of these creatures are kind of flapping around in the air above your head, staying out of melee range as long as they can. So let us start. Let's do the people that are only being attacked once first. Hermione. I have rolled a maths 20 to hit.
Well, yeah, that fits.
All right, just keep track of that for now.
Yeah.
Paulie, I have rolled a 13.
Nope.
Cyril, I have rolled another maths 20.
I'll take it.
Okay. Um, Rocks come pelting down at Lempus, who is somewhat precariously in the middle of the bridge. 5 rocks whirl in your direction, Lempus. I have rolled a 17, a 23, another 23,
Oh boy.
a 15, and a 21.
All right. Well,
Sorry, those are a lot.
those would all hit. I'm going to expend some cutting words on the 15, which guarantees that that one doesn't hit. I don't even need to roll it.
Okay.
Get worse than a 1. But yeah, that sounds like 4 hits to me.
Ouch. Rocks pelt down upon you. Each rock that hits you is 6 damage.
Oh, good Lord.
How are
goodness.
you? Having
Not
just
great.
taken, I think 24 damage.
Yeah, I'm still okay. I'm not bloodied,
Okay.
but I don't enjoy being hit with rocks.
All right. And Hermione and Cyril, I think you took 1 rock hit each.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. And here is 4 more rocks coming toward Nyasa Nightweaver.
Real quick, how much does that hurt for a
6.
rock? 6. Okay.
Rock equals 6. Nyasa 12, 18, 24, and 10.
2 of those will hit.
All right, you're going to take 12 damage total from 2 rocks. The kobolds are flapping around and they're kind of like cackling. They think that this is great as they throw rocks down at you. And they're already kind of kind of making little remarks back and forth to each other in Draconic about who's going to get whose stuff. Hermione, you are next. So just to remind you, basically three of you are on. Oh no, sorry. Yeah, three of you are on one side of the bridge. This little precarious rope bridge. Polly, Cyril, and Hermione are on one side. Lempus is in the middle. Nyas and Weaver alone on the other side. So you're with your friends on one side of the bridge, Hermione. There are a couple kobolds nearby, but they are flapping overhead, which may be challenging for a sword-based individual such as yourself.
Thankfully, I also have a whip, but it depends on
Oh,
how high up they are.
how long is your whip?
I don't know. How high are they?
I'm gonna say that I don't think that first. I think that first kobold was basically just making sure not to be in sword distance, but I'm gonna say probably didn't think about whip distance, which I'm guessing is I think you have reach with a whip, right?
Yeah, it's 10 feet.
I'm gonna say within 10 feet then.
Okay. All right. So I will like to attack it with my whip.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled 19.
19 will hit a winged kobold.
Excellent.
Tell me about damage and anything else that the whip might do to the kobold.
4 plus 3 is 7, and it whips it.
Good.
All right. Your whip lashes out and like wraps around one of the little kobold's little feet, and I'm gonna you just like yank
Excellent.
it, and the
I love
kobold
that.
like comes tumbling out of the ground and just hits the ground with a thud and is dead at your feet.
Excellent. Excellent. Well,
Do you want to move or do anything?
So because I have the two
Oh,
handed, does that mean I can use my whip again, like the 2 attack thing?
I believe as a level 10 fighter, you get multiple attacks, and yeah, you could keep whipping.
Yeah. All right. Cool. I would like to take a step forward.
Okay.
Over here and whip this guy.
All right, you head over to the next kobold, position yourself under it, and whip out at it.
I would like to use my inspiration because I rolled a
Okay.
1. That's not good. I will take a 20. A nat
20 will
20.
hit. A nat 20 will
A nat
hit a winged
20.
kobold.
And so I rolled 2 of the
Yep. Whatever your damage die is, roll 2
damage
of them.
dice. Yeah. Let's see. 4 plus 4 is 8.
8 is enough to pull another winged kobold from the sky. The other kobolds are looking nervous, and perhaps some of them are like flapping higher up than they were before.
And then I'm gonna roll out here to the tip of the bridge.
Okay, you take up a placement at the not on the bridge, but right ready the bridge
Right ready at
entrance.
it. Yes. Yes.
Cyril, there's all kinds of winged kobolds flapping around in the air above you. People on a bridge.
Actually, I believe
I'm sorry. I think I advanced the turn order twice.
Yep.
Lempus, you're in the middle of a bridge. There are also another overlapping group of kobolds all around you in the air.
Okay, and just some follow-up. I realize that since I am not in the College of Lore, I do not have cutting words, so I've taken 6 more damage.
Oh, okay.
So I got hit by
no.
5 rocks on that last one. Not great, not great.
So many
So I think
rocks.
probably the best course of action is for me to get the heck off of this bridge. So I'm going to try and get myself up and out of the way. So I'm just not hanging out over a
A
crevasse
place that you
any
can
longer.
follow your death. Yeah.
Am I able to achieve that relatively easily?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
You're level 10. You don't have to roll to cross a bridge
sure.
unless you're Nyasa.
Yep.
In that case, I would then like to whip around and cast Hypnotic Cube,
Oh.
which is or Hypnotic Pattern, which is in a 30-foot cube,
Mm-hmm.
which means it should encompass 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these fellows that are hanging out over the crevasse, starting up here.
Oh, okay, because
and ending down here.
there's no enemies in there anymore.
Right, and you
So-
can decide whether any of them are more than 30 feet higher than any of the others.
I think that they are probably within 30 feet is pretty good. I think they're within 30 feet of each other. So
Okay.
I think
So that
if
should
you had
hit
something that had needed somebody to be right next to you, they would not be great.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And so they need to make, I believe, let me look it up, but I believe it's a wisdom saving throw
All right.
And they will do
Probably
so
not
at a
their best.
disadvantage because I'm using my Instrument of the Bards.
And what do I need to get for their wisdom saving throw?
It's something real simple, like a 17. You should be good to get
That-
that
Yeah,
6
sure,
times,
we'll be
right?
fine.
I will just to check here. Wing kobolds are, they are very powerful as far as kobolds go. They have wings. They're fine people who craft / scavenge all kinds of lovely equipment. But their wisdom is -2, and
Wow.
you have set the bar at 17, level
Mhm.
10, huh? So by my math, they need to roll a 19 or a 20 with disadvantage in order to get that.
Bring it on.
And you have targeted 6 of them.
Yes.
Here we go. First one. What? What did that do?
2DF.
I clicked the wrong button. First one. I rolled an 8 and a 6. Second one, a 9 and an 8. Third one, 5 and a 15. Fourth one, 12 and a 9. Fifth one, 4 and a 6. Sixth one, natural 20 and a 16, which I believe with disadvantage is not enough. So
Yep.
all of them are hypnotized by your hypnotic cube, or your hypnotic pattern that takes the shape of a cube.
Right.
I
They
did
are
not
now
ask what happens to-
incapacitated, which means that they are no longer flying, so they should be plummeting at this point.
I
Oh,
was gonna say,
no.
I was gonna say, incapacitated sounds really bad when you rely on flight.
Flying.
So how long are they incapacitated? How deep is the cavern?
As long as I can concentrate, combined with how deep the chasm is. yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna say I think those 6 basically either die or have plenty of time to think about what they're gonna do next in life. It doesn't involve you.
Yeah, as they are incapacitated, I still suspect they can think about that, the wisdom of dropping a rock on a tiefling bard.
And drop a
Maybe
rock
they've
on a
learned
bard, that
something.
bard drops you.
It's not a
So,
lesson
Yeah.
they can apply for very long, but it is a lesson they've learned.
Yeah.
Something they can take with them into the next
All
time.
right. Well, I will say this. I thought I had set an overwhelming number of kobolds that seemed like an intimidating number, at least. And you have quickly dispatched, that is
More than
6
half.
tieflings dispatched by Lempus and 2 dispatched by Hermione. That is more than half of the kobolds. Lempus, you all done? Big turn.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
All right, Cyril, it is you up next. I guess news. I don't know if it's good or bad news. News of value you determine. There are no kobolds near you because they have all either been murdered or forgot how to fly over a cavern.
Great. These 4 over here above Nyasa Nightweaver.
Yeah.
Would you say they fit into a 20-foot cube?
I'm going to say 3 of them would fit into a 20-foot cube.
Why only 3 of them? Because 2D they all fit. So you're saying one is 25 feet higher than the other ones?
All right, I retract that. Yeah, they're all they're all within a 20-foot cube.
Great.
I forget how big things are.
I will cast Synaptic Static,
Okay.
choosing a point within range and causing psychic energy to explode there. Those 4 creatures over there have to do an intelligence saving throw, unless their
they're great at
intelligence
that.
is 2 or lower, in which case it has no effect.
Their intelligence
Nyasa
is
and-
not 2 or lower. It's pretty bad though.
Right.
Does Nyasa have to do this also?
Nope, because it's every creature, but I figured you said they were above him.
Yeah,
I'm just
so you'll aim
aiming
it above
him.
All right. Well, amazingly, 1 kobold rolled a natural 20.
Congratulations.
3 kobolds are present.
Right. So first we'll do the damage,
Mhm.
which is 8d6. Half damage on a
8d6.
successful save.
Should have doubled the kobolds.
That's 30 points to the ones that failed the save, and 15
I will
for the
just
one that-
mention these are kobolds.
I've got a whole nother paragraph of things that could happen to them.
Mm.
After a failed save, the target has muddled thoughts for a minute. It rolls a d6 and subtracts that number from all its attack rolls, and ability checks, and constitution saving throws. But are all these guys dead?
Yeah, three of them, their heads explode. I guess the one that rolled a natural 20 clutches his head as he suffers an intense migraine, but still takes some annoying amount of damage on a save, even with a critical success.
Yep.
Excellent.
Oh, that's nice.
How much damage does he take?
15.
Okay, he dies less spectacularly, but still dead.
Excellent. And what's my move? Oh, 30. Okay. 1, 2. Oops, that's not right. I should be. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. That's my turn.
All right. Nyasa, looking around, Nyasa, you are usually just a murder factory, but it appears that there are no kobolds, living kobolds within sight. And I think given the devastating impact of your first launch of assaults, you will never hear or see from kobolds ever again on your journey. So I don't think there's anything for you or Polly to do.
Oh man, I had so many things I wanted to explode kobolds with.
All right. Can we assume that you crossed the bridge without incident?
Can I have a poke around in the kobold viscera?
Oof. Yeah, sure. Go nuts.
I'm just seeing if they got any stuff because you said they collected good stuff.
They have little, very small-sized, little chainmail, rusty chainmail shirts that they
no
were wearing.
gold on them.
They don't have a lot of gold on them.
I kick the corpses off the cliff into the cavern.
It seems rude, but that is their traditional way of burial. So,
yeah. I can do it without touching them. I think I can do the psychic push shove off a cliff.
I think you can only do that for things that are like 10 pounds.
No.
All right. Well, I thought I had brought a lot of kobolds to this fight, but you all are level 10, and I'm just gonna say I brought twice as many kobolds as the adventure prescribed, and it still didn't matter.
Well, we have area of effect spells. You could bring like 100, and it would have been exactly the same.
It would have been the same.
Yeah.
It just would have been more saving throws for me to roll.
Yeah.
Yep.
So really, we saved you.
Yes.
It's true. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Kathy.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Do you want to keep heading up Cloud Peak?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a little messed up. I wouldn't mind taking a quick
Uh-oh.
short rest if possible,
Oh, yeah. Let's do a short
Yeah.
rest.
just to try and get some of my hit points back.
Oh yeah,
I
some people
also
did
have
take damage.
healing words. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I did.
anyone
take
needs a
some
little
damage.
nip tuck?
Hit dice, so I might as well use them while we have time to rest. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I shall do the same.
I forgot
going
that
to
part
use-
where Lempus got hit by like 6 rocks.
I
Yeah.
got hit by some as well.
I'm going to use Arcane Recovery to bring back my 5th level spell slot that I just used on some winged kobolds.
and I will. Oh, is that even something I can do? Hang on, I got to see if I've got Song of Rest. I might
Okay.
not. Okay, I think Song of Rest is for everyone. So anybody who is regaining hit points during this rest should get an additional 1d8.
Nice. Well, I'm back.
All right.
Does that go above our hit points or
No, only up to your max.
Do we have to be gaining health to get that 1d8?
Yes, you have to be in the process of regaining hit points.
All right.
Thank you.
And it has to be by spending hit dice, apparently, too. So
I was doing exactly that. Great.
So what was that again?
1d8 if you're
1d8.
using hit dice to regain
Yep.
any hit points.
1, 2, 3, 4. And 1.
Love rolling ones on hit dice.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It's the best.
Well, the bridge turned out to be absolutely fine.
Yeah. No one got murdered by a
far.
bridge.
I haven't made it across. I weigh like twice as much as anyone
Oh
else.
my God, let
will
me
say.
go first.
Everyone else get over first.
All right.
We're just standing at the other end.
Hermione, you cross the bridge without incident. you
Okay,
know.
good.
We,
Yeah.
we were all
Excellent.
taking bets at the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
the
I was
plate?
taking bets with myself.
All
We're
right.
all taking bets. No one was making a bet. It was very odd.
Do you want to continue your trek up into the mountains?
Yes, please.
Let's.
Yeah.
All right, and so you do. The terrain continues to get less and less hospitable. You are now climbing through, through snow-covered peaks, with many higher peaks ahead of you. It is getting toward nightfall, and the challenge is that there is not a lot of cover for you here now that you're well above the tree line. You haven't seen anything great as far as like a cave or a campsite or something like that. Seems like somebody might want to do some kind of check to find a good place to spend the night.
Hey, if you guys want to spend the night in a 10-foot radius immobile dome of force, we can do that.
It sounds
Are
cozy.
we able to breathe in that?
Yeah, it's great.
Is that Leomund's tiny hut?
That is Leomund's tiny hut. I was reading
love
Leomund's book.
tiny hut. Yeah,
I
I've
mean,
heard
a
about
tiny
that.
hut.
I am remembering the fact that you killed a crab quite recently.
That wasn't. Look,
That was an
crabs. People think crabs are well made, but they're not. That's the thing. They're dumb. See, it can't control the salinization of the osmosis through its shell. You know who can? Turtles. Turtles are the perfect being, not crabs.
What
Keep that in
about
mind.
just saying like an elf?
Elves are fine.
Okay.
Like, I'm not mad at elves, but like you wouldn't die if you were in the water with the wrong level of salinization, right?
I don't think so.
Crabs do. They're idiots.
Okay.
Jeez.
So
You get so much crab mail.
fine. I will get into your bubble.
Right. I will create the dome. Of course, people can walk in and out all they want. The inside is comfortable and dry.
You can't, but we can.
Right. I have to be inside it.
If you need us to get you anything.
And I'm going to say that the dome looks like a turtle shell.
Nice.
Love it.
Is I thought Liam and Side Hut was invisible in some way.
No, you can see it.
No.
The dome is opaque from the outside of any color you choose, but it is transparent from the inside, unless I choose to affect the lighting.
Well, that's good because
Oh,
that means
fancy.
we don't have to look at the inside of a turtle shell.
It's totally overpowered. It's a great spell.
Yeah, it rules.
And you can
Sweet.
cast
As
it
soon
as
as
a
the DM
ritual,
starts saying,
so you don't even need to
you're
waste
going to
a
have
spell
to
slot on
find a
it.
place to stay. You're done.
Which is great because I rolled a 5 on my survival, so I don't know how well that would have worked otherwise.
Yeah, you're looking around, Hermione, and you're like, this place seems good.
Yep.
The giant turtle shell. Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this question. If you are staying in a giant turtle shell, do you need to worry about
Always
setting
do.
a watch or anything like that?
Well, spells and other magical effects can't extend through the dome or be cast through it, and all creatures and objects are barred from passing through it. So I feel safe, and I'm going to sleep.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
Nyasa has a certain distrust of this situation and will maybe keep one eye open.
That's fine. So we're like off of the path, and I'm hoping it just gets snowed over.
This completely inconspicuous giant turtle shell.
I could step out and just cover it with snow, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
Except for one little area. I got to get back in at some point.
Yeah.
All right, fine, I'll sleep.
All right.
All right.
Do we have a fire?
Uh,
Little marshmallows?
can you build a fire in here?
Will that
Sure.
remove all the oxygen? Will we die?
Yeah.
It will not remove the oxygen. That's actually a myth. What it will do is extra phlogistate the air. It's phlogiston that gets you.
Yep, that phlogiston.
Can we have a fire? Yes, no.
Sure.
Okay.
Do we need a fire?
Well, it's pretty cold.
Actually, no, we should not have a fire in here.
This is
Update.
I'm like leaning in with the flint just at the point.
Yeah, I like this testing of things. All right. You all find I guess you don't care if it's a good site or not because you're in your little turtle dome and you all huddle together and don't have a fire, so it's cold, right? But it'll be relatively safe, and Lempus covers it mostly in snow, so that it'll hopefully
Does it-
blend in.
Well, and does that mean that like if it's does it act like an igloo where it keeps our heat inside and where it's actually pretty cozy and warm?
It's automatic.
Even
It's
without the fire?
automatically warm and dry and comfortable.
Oh yeah, so we're
Yeah.
totally fine. We're
Yeah,
not
okay.
cold.
You're not cold. You're fine. I mean, it does smell.
I'm warm
like
and dry and comfortable.
It smells like a turtle.
Yeah, you're welcome.
If only you hadn't given away that perfume.
It's I don't what you don't want is like the smell of turtle then covered up with too much perfume. That's not a good smell. That's no good. It is are you going to take turns sleeping? You just all going to go to sleep? He says
I'm gonna stay awake. I don't trust this thing.
for the whole night.
Okay,
We'll
I'll
do
take
watches.
it. We'll take shifts.
All right, you'll take
Yeah.
shifts.
I'm just going to sleep. I need my rest.
Yep.
Yeah, you
you had a
do.
big day.
I don't
You
need
got-
anything.
You
Nothing.
got hit by rocks. So it is it's the middle of the night. And
boy.
I'm gonna say that Nyasa, you are on shift and you hear like a loud thumping noise.
Like a club.
But just one club, a single.
I hear boots and pants.
I very quietly wake everyone.
Okay. Everyone is suddenly awake, and perhaps as you're wondering why on earth Nyasa could have woken you up, there is another kind of thudding noise, as it sounds like perhaps something is banging on the outside of your tiny hut.
I hear you knocking, but you
okay.
can't come in.
The shell is rocking.
Scrying.
Rocking, don't come knocking.
I will scry on us.
You see yourselves. No,
Yeah, now I'm going to zoom back a little and see what's pounding
okay.
on this.
Back and to the left.
All right, zooming out. Is this actually how this works, Monty?
Well, I mean, that's up to you. Again,
Let's say yes.
scrying just says
Um,
you can see and hear a particular creature you choose is on the same plane of existence.
Look, I can't figure out whether this is abusing scrying or wasting scrying. So we're just gonna split the difference.
Well,
and see-
how
call
about
it
this? How about
reasonable. Um,
Instead of targeting a creature, you can choose a location you have seen before as the target of
just
the spell.
outside your hut.
Yep. When you do, the sensor appears at that location and doesn't move. So,
All right. Just outside your hut, you see it's dark because it is night, and there are no light sources outside the hut. But in the kind of blurry view of the gentle snowfall at night, there is a large hulking thing. It is considerably taller than the snow-covered dome, and it is seems to be investigating the dome.
I will cast message
Okay.
and I will say, go away. We're sleeping.
The creature, like its head spins around, and you see kind of two kind of glowing, angry eyes. And you know what? I think you could probably even kind of see the profile of this creature now that's moving. It's hard to see because it's a creature that is very kind of camouflaged in terms of snow-colored fur, Cyril. But as it's whipping around, you can see horns and a kind of beastly maw full of fangs that seems angry, and it is looking for where did that voice inside its head come from.
Time to
We got a
send
Yeti or something out there, guys.
time to send out the puppeted crab. See if it works.
Good luck.
Now, I suggest the turtle strategy, where we just stay here and ignore it.
Does
I like that
this
strategy.
work for you normally?
Still here,
I
aren't
mean,
I?
Yeah.
I mean, nothing can get in. How long does this last?
That's right.
8 hours.
Can we
Yeah.
attack through the wall without?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can. Well, you can reach through the wall and then attack it. You can't shoot an arrow from here to
Okay.
it.
Oh,
Right.
this is the rule of big tokens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Token.
Oh yeah.
Can we talk to it?
It's a 4x4.
Or
It's
do
supposed
I
to be
just
three.
go
I think
for
I
it
got the
with them?
grid not quite right. It is a
Okay.
3x3. This creature is very tall. Hermione, I mean, you are the tallest among the group, and this creature is at least twice as big as you. It is a
I
very
mean, I could go
towering,
like fifth
angry
level.
kind of
And
snow
you should be
gorilla.
able to shoot arrows through it, if I'm
I
reading
could go
this
like
correctly.
5th level elemental bane and go with fire since it's a cold creature. Looks
I mean, I've got a
looks
lightning
cold.
thing, which would be quite fun.
Or do we send my echo out to talk to it?
I mean, it doesn't. I mean,
Doesn't look
Spells
like
spells can't be cast through it, but I think arrows can be
Oh.
shot through it.
All right, so that message didn't work then.
As long as the objects were within the dome when the spell was cast. So we couldn't go forage for more arrows and then shoot them out through the dome, but
Finite number of arrows.
but
So-
it does say spells and other magical effects
I
can't
have
cast
20
through
darts.
it.
so
That's gonna
could
be
I stick my hand
great effect.
through the dome? Like, just stick my hand out a bit.
Sure, go for it. I mean,
That's
I wouldn't
yeah.
Gotta
recommend
bite
it.
off your hand.
Yeah, that's
Like the
So you-
dome is
and
here
the-
to protect us. You guys know that,
Nyasa's
right?
gonna get a great hook after this.
I would just say, shh, just turn out the lights. Just
We're not here.
It's not.
There's a variety. You are very protected. I think you could do this a variety of ways.
Well, I want to try this. I'm gonna stick my hand out
don't do that.
on the opposite side from where the creature is.
It's so tall though; it can see over the.
Yeah, but it's not gonna be able to get to my hand quick enough for
He
this.
says the last words he said before losing a hand.
I am gonna.
How fast could it be?
Can we do a quick nature before this happens?
Oh,
just to see if
yeah.
anybody knows
Yeah.
any
Sure.
useful things.
All right.
About
What is it? That's all I need to know. I need to know its
So-
name.
I got a 21 in nature.
Excellent.
All right,
I got a
Paul-
17.
Polly, you know that this is a Yeti, and not just any Yeti. This is an abominable Yeti, which is bigger than
boy.
your average Yeti. You know that Yetis are fearsome hunters that travel up in the high peaks. They usually travel in solo or sometimes in pairs. They don't tend to travel in packs. And they have a very keen sense of smell. So it's likely that this Yeti knows that there are living creatures inside this hut, and it is aware of your presence here and that it wants to eat you. Yeti they don't speak any languages. They are very afraid of fire. And they can be difficult to see because of their kind of camouflage like fur. They're very scary.
Okay.
That's what you know about
Yeah.
Yetis.
I stick my
And
hand
so this-
out. Go on.
James.
Just let me
Listen,
have.
he's done it twice. You know, we gotta let him do his stupid things.
All right,
and
do
we
your
can move
stupid
on.
thing.
All right.
Clean up the blood later.
I stick my hand out of the opposite side that the Yeti is on, and from the ring that is on my finger, a ball of lightning appears, which is, let me see, is 3-foot diameter sphere of lightning, and then the lightning moves towards the Yeti. And the Yeti, I would like to make a DC 15 dexterity saving throw.
The Yeti does not succeed on that. Now, I would like you, because the Yeti was really hoping somebody would stick a hand out of this thing. I would just like you to make a quick dexterity check to see if the Yeti tries to swipe your hand off before the spell even happens.
That's fair. That is, what is my dexterity +4. So that's a 17.
All right, you are faster than the Yeti swipes at you, but you launch that ball of lightning, and then I'll assume retract your hand inside the safety of the dome.
Do you know what happens to a Yeti that gets struck by lightning?
The same thing as everything
Static
else.
electricity to die for.
No, what happens is it takes 4d12 damage.
40,
12.
The abominable glow man.
They all fluffy now.
I did mention, I said they were afraid of fire. What if they love lightning?
Well, we'll find out. That is 15, 16, 28 damage.
28 damage. Let me just record that.
28. Oh, wait.
Dial
The
back.
the Yeti looks annoyed about that.
Okay. I mean,
And
I
cool.
can
continues
You've
to, like,
annoyed.
It's banging on the roof of the dome and scratching at it. So I imagine a lot of the snow has been removed, and so it's now just just turtle shell majesty there. At the very least, I think this would probably impinge the ability of any of you to sleep, as a because sound and there's a Yeti. You know that Yeti can't get in because of magic, but it's still
we've slept
this is
through
not
worse.
this is not the
I have a
soothing, relaxing sounds of Yeti song.
I have a plan.
Okay.
I would like to creep over to the other side of the dome from the Yeti.
Yep,
sneak
classic.
my hand out and
All right.
cast Prestidigitation.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's do a quick dexterity check as the Yeti tries to
Oh, no.
slap at your hand, just as what happened with Nyasa. Challenge here.
All right.
You're a turtle.
I rolled a 14 and you rolled a 5.
No, I rolled a 14 also, I
You
believe.
rolled a 5. Tony, listen to me.
Wait.
You rolled a 5.
Oh, ha! I get it. Do you want to explain
keep happening.
do you want to explain just for our listeners so they're not confused?
I am, of course, a divination wizard. At the beginning of each game day, I roll 2d20 and can swap those results in for anything I want.
Yep.
A
So
high
I believe
roll
you
will
have
be
now-
mine. A low roll will be Tony's.
Yeah, I believe you've now done those. So you have the foreseen success and foreseen failure. Did you specifically have an image of a Yeti not doing anything? You're like, wonder when
it
that'll
was
come
weird.
up. Yeah. Way to not share that with anyone before you guys all went to sleep.
Listen, I tried telling them about my dreams.
Yeah, no,
they are
and-
not interested.
Yeah.
Your
No.
dreams are so boring, man.
Yeah.
There's
Oh
no
God, it's like when people just talk
flying.
about the weather. All right, so the Yeti attempts
It was
to
you,
get
but it
your-
wasn't you. It was a Yeti, but it wasn't a Yeti.
Oh, geez. Yeah. Get a blog. So the Yeti attempts to swipe at you, but comes up short. What happens, Cyril?
All right, I'm going to start with this prestidigitation effect. Create an odd odor. Oh, this smells like those kobolds, doesn't it? It's coming from over there away from us. A little waft of kobold. Delicious. Yetis love kobolds.
How far away can you waft kobold odor? Words that have been said before.
10 feet.
All right. The Yeti does kind of look around, as I think the Yeti now thinks that there must be kobolds somewhere nearby, and I think it's probably like making a circle of the dome, sniffing the ground real carefully, like. But it's only 10 feet away, so.
So what we've really done is told her that there's kobolds.
All right. I'm sick of this crap. I'm still in my bedroll. I'm just going to start shooting crossbow bolts at it until it either dies or runs away. One every 6 seconds until one of those two things happens.
Why don't you roll 2 or 3 crossbow attacks there just to see what happens, Lubus? Also, keep in mind, I'll assume you stood up. I think you have disadvantage if you're firing a crossbow from inside a sleeping bag.
Oh yeah, no. I'm not like all bundled up with like
Yeah.
in a little cocoon or anything. All right.
You might get advantage. You're shooting from prone. That's a good
That's
stable
right,
position.
isn't it? Interesting point.
And they can't see you.
Yeah,
Okay. That first one is an 18.
that'll hit.
Okay. Should I roll damage or are we just being
Just do a
academic here?
couple, and then I'll have you do. You can do, damage together when we find out how many hits it is.
Let's see. That one is a 24.
Hits.
That one is a 25.
All right, so you fire 3 crossbow bolts out from the dome, and they all get the Yeti, two in the shoulder and one in the gut. Tell me about damage.
Okay, that's 10 for the first one,
Mm-hmm.
8 for the next one, and 10 for the next one.
All right. You
28
know,
damage total.
the Yeti looks at this point annoyed, still not bloody, despite the fact that you have hit him with many things, and just starts banging on the turtle dome and howling at the top of its lungs.
I'm going to just create a small campfire under its feet, again with prestidigitation.
All right.
Yeah, stick your hand
Does
out again
that
for that.
does that do anything other than be scary?
It's very scary. You said they were terrified of fire.
They are. You are gonna have to stick your hand out in order to do that. And
I'm not doing it.
oh, okay. Well, I rolled a very low dexterity roll in my attempt to eat your hand.
My dexterity is an 8. I have a -1 to rolls.
You are a turtle person, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy, do you want to do anything, Hermione?
Yeah, I'm gonna stick my hand out.
All right.
Glad to,
Roll
glad to have
dexterity.
started a trend here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lose a goddamn hand.
You got two. Um,
20! Whoa!
all right. You are quick and nimble. The especially at this point, the abominable Yeti has several crossbow bolts on him. It's maybe not moving as fast. What do you do with that hand?
I'm gonna cast Elemental Bane with fire. So I need a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution save from this Yeti. Now, Yetis are very constitutional because they live out in the wilderness, and I have rolled a critical fail.
Yeah.
Yeah, you fail. All right. So that's 2d6 fire damage. 5 and 3. 8.
It's eight fire damage.
Not a
Now,
lot.
8 fire damage is not enough to bloody the Yeti, but you know that Yeti are terrified of fire, and it is enough to send the Yeti galloping off into the night, into the cold, as it's like kind of rolling around in the snow, trying to put itself out, which I imagine is probably not too hard. But I think you have successfully convinced this Yeti that you are more trouble than you're worth.
I make the
Good
dome
job.
white, opaque, and I turn the lights off inside it, and they go back to bed.
All right. Now, I think probably the only slight mechanical question here is this happened in the middle of the night. How does that affect your long rest?
Well, can I make an argument?
Yeah.
According to the basic rules of long rest, the only time that you have an issue is if the rest is interrupted by a period of strenuous activity, at least 1 hour of walking, fighting, casting spells, etc. For us to lose
Yeah,
the
long
ability.
So we
rest
think this
assumes,
was
like,
not strenuous.
This was like
so
5
mild
minutes.
Or was
annoyance.
this less than an
Yeah.
hour? How long
The-
did
It was not an hour, that's for sure. It was
Yeah,
minutes.
a long rest assumes like 6 hours of sleep and 2 hours of fucking around.
Yeah. And it wasn't even all that strenuous, to be honest. I didn't even get out of my bedroll.
Yeah. All
I
right.
mean, all we did was stick our hands around places.
We'll assume it was a minor inconvenience, as fearsome and intimidating as the abominable Yeti that was. Truly an impressive creature that Tony arranged to bring into this adventure. Much more fearsome than the kobolds that you took out in half a round of combat. So fearsome you didn't even bother to roll initiative. And your sleep is otherwise fine. And in fact, knowing that you have chased off the scariest thing on the mountain peak, you sleep well and wake up the next day warm and dry in your turtle dome, fully rested.
Nice.
Excellent.
All right.
What else you got, Tony?
Boy, did I have some weird dreams last night, guys.
Well, I think it's probably only one more day of hiking up through the mountains to get to the peaks of the cloud peaks. It's gonna be it's gonna be rough as the terrain is getting rougher. But if you I think you get an early start, you can get there mid-afternoon.
Well, we're very rested, so I think that should be fine
Yeah.
to wake up early.
All right.
Let's do
So
this.
you have some breakfast and you hit the trail. Um, it is tough going. So I'm gonna need another DC 15 survival check, or you risk exhaustion.
17.
21.
13.
You will take some exhaustion with 13.
Wait, let me can I use my inspiration?
You absolutely can.
Shoot.
I'm going to use my 17 portent roll.
Oh, you had a dream of being really good at walking.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice, good dream.
Divination Wizards rule. This is so much fun. I'm
It
taking the
feels
randomness out of D&D.
it feels slightly like cheating. It's
Only
like
slightly, though.
legal cheating.
Tiff, did you fail that one?
Yeah.
Well, have my inspiration.
Whoa.
Aw.
You're a good guy. Or a girl. I don't know who you are.
I don't know who
Still
I am.
failed.
Well,
Oh my
all right.
God.
Wasted.
Let me just remind you that one level of exhaustion is simply you have disadvantage on ability checks, not combat rolls, just ability checks. So you're tired. You're not slower yet. You're just tired. You have trouble concentrating. It's like you could really use a nap, but there's no time to take a nap.
This is the story of our lives.
Yeah, I'm sure none of us
Every
can.
day.
Yeah. I know that's hard for us to think about what that would be like as super accomplished adults who never have trouble with anything.
Yep.
The good news is the adventure suggested that
What was our target there, by the way?
15.
Oh, okay. I got that.
The adventure, as written, suggests that any winged kobolds that retreated from the previous day would attack you today. They're all dead. So
They're
that's not going to
all
happen.
dead.
So your hike is relatively without incident. You're getting toward the top of the peak when your trail kind of suddenly seems to hit a dead end. There is a 40-foot high steep cliff face ahead of you that you must somehow scale in order to continue your journey.
I got
Cool.
this.
Well,
I
if
don't
we-
know if you
can
you
you
can say
Fine.
like 40 feet high. Some of you may have magical abilities that will allow you to
can
defeat this cliff.
Damn right we do.
can Paulie make some handholds for us?
Oh yeah, with mold earth.
Oh yeah, I can do
I
that.
can
That is a
I can
legitimate
dimension
use of
door-
mold earth.
I can dimension door me and Polly up to the top.
You can only dimension door 2 people.
I can only
Yeah.
dimension door one person who is not my size, who's
Gotcha.
not bigger than me, and I'm size
Oh.
small.
Your dimension door is a tiny little door.
Let me ask a hypothetical. If Hermione were to be able to fly, would she be able to carry one person at a time up to the top of the peak?
I think so. I mean,
All right.
assuming Hermione wanted to.
I strum my cittern and cast fly on Hermione, assuming that she wants to fly.
I would love to fly.
Boom, you're Pegasus.
Yeah.
Bam. How long?
It lasts for 10 minutes as long as I concentrate on it.
Okay.
Cool.
How long does it take? Okay, so there's only
I think your speed becomes your fly speed.
okay. Well, it's
Flying
40.
speed of 60 feet for the duration.
Oh, your flying speed is better than your speed.
Sweet. Okay, so I can get up to the top
In
and
6
halfway
seconds.
down.
Yeah.
So I could do a couple trips.
You can do that's very fast. You could do
Yeah.
multiple trips a minute.
Yeah.
You could certainly do 5 trips, and you could do 5 leisurely trips in 10 minutes.
Do. Okay, no, I get everyone up there really fast, and then for the rest of the time, I'm
You
just
do
like...
loops.
Just enjoying the flying.
Just
Yeah.
be sure that you're near the ground when the 10 minutes is up.
Meh.
She's so majestic. She looks like a trapper keeper.
All right, assuming that you all want to do that, I think that allows you as a group to get up there without having to do any risky climbing, without having to use your dimension door, or doing anything else. And I'm gonna give Lembas inspiration for that.
Oh,
clever use
how
of
dare
magic.
you?
So, As you have, it seems
Just
like you
before I hear that Tony is going to give me inspiration, I give my inspiration to somebody else.
I think you have to give it to them for a specific use. So
You give me your inspiration, Steve, for flying.
No, it's all right.
I think I think you can't bank it when somebody else gives you it. They can, it's they give it to
You have to
to
use it right
use.
away.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
We're
To use
already
and waste.
complaining that there's too much inspiration being
I
given out.
know.
Oh man. So I will tell you that you have at this stage, it seems like you have reached the very peaks of the cloud peaks. You can now see that as you kind of get up that cliffside, there's still a little bit of mountain peak ahead of you, but you are above the clouds, and it almost makes you can see the peaks of the mountains around you sticking up through the clouds, and in the distance it kind of works into the side of this frozen mountaintop is some kind of structure that looks kind of like a small castle or a keep, but the proportions of it are quite strange, such that you suspect that it is the work of giants. This must be the keep of the cloud giants that Gazra Azam had have warned you about. I will show you. There's a map. The scale of the map is challenging because it's built for giants. Zook.
I feel weird. This is not how high turtles normally go. We're built low to the ground, you know?
Oh,
Oh dear.
that's a giant map.
Giant map built for giants. And there's a big kind of square keep kind of at the end of this little box canyon up cut into the side of the mountain here. The keep is relatively it's not very ornate. It's a big kind of like square structure, and it looks like the upper floors are not structurally intact. So this may be more of like ruins of a keep than a keep itself. The walls of the keep are quite tall, since it looks like all of the doorways are sized for creatures that must be more than 20 feet high. You can see, a big set of double doors
Double doors.
set in the front of the keep, kind of ahead of you, as if there is a path leading there. And the double doors are made out of kind of bleached, frozen looking wood. The rest of the castle is this kind of very kind of drab stone with lots of kind of ice and frost kind of caked around it. Seems
When
like
I
possibly
scryed
whatever.
on
Oh, you go.
sorry. When I scryed on Zikran, was he in a normal sized room or a giant sized room?
Now that you're thinking back to it, the features of that room were somewhat strange. It was, I don't know if it was a giant sized room, but it was not a kind of, it was a kind of big cavernous kind of room. Didn't have any windows. It's possible that it was a room, and I will say, even, you remember what the stonework looked like in that room. It was consistent with this structure.
All right. Thank you.
I think you could probably even guess, Cyril, based on the lack of windows and the presence of windows on the structure, that perhaps the room where Zikran was hiding was beneath this structure, like a basement.
Or a dungeon.
There's a whole mountain down there. Huge
Mm.
basement opportunities.
True.
So,
I think he's in there.
shall I
Cool.
disguise myself as Laffer? Puppet a crab? Is that our way in?
Do we just knock on the door?
We don't.
What do we know
like,
about?
I knock on
what
the
do we
door
know
and
about giants.
with my.
Are we
with-
very far from this door?
I don't
You
think
are
he's going
hundreds of feet from the door
Yeah.
in the distance, discussing
As
what
we
you're
walk,
going to do.
we squabble over what to do.
Yep,
Yep.
as traditional. Yep, Dungeons and Dragons played it before.
I don't
Uh,
think he's going to answer the door. I think he's like inside, like a prisoner, or like I think giants will answer the door. And then we say, where's Zikran? And they say, we don't know Zikran. We say, show us Zikran. They say, fine, here's Zikran, you know?
I mean, that sounds good to me.
Yeah, giants are famously friendly like that.
Yep.
What if the crab knocked the door?
I mean, my echo could knock at the door.
I
That
could
sounds
become
good.
a crab and knock at the door.
Could we like hide around the corner, knock the door remotely, and
I
see
promise
who
not to
answers?
become a dolphin, but not a crab.
That was days ago in game time.
Yeah.
Paul, you're not beholden to that anymore.
No, you can become dolphins.
I keep my promises. Man,
You'll
my
just
word.
become like a porpoise or some dolphin adjacent creature.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Say that word again. I just want to understand how British people talk.
Whoa, what now?
What now?
A porpoise.
That's not real. You're messing with us.
Stop making up mythical animals.
I could cast Thunderwave when we get up there and just blow the doors off, and we
You
just
could.
go in like we own the place.
The doors, I mean, I will tell you the doors are very big, but
Are
they
they
do not
stone?
look. No, they're bleached wood. They don't look very sturdy, honestly. This whole structure doesn't look great.
Let's knock the whole thing down.
Yeah, you could just cave this whole thing in and leave.
I mean, that would solve the
Wait.
problem.
I mean,
My cousins are in
only
construction.
if he dies.
Well, he'll die eventually.
You're playing the long game. That's how you're gonna get your wish.
Yeah, we just like trap him there. No food.
Mm-hmm.
Nature takes its course.
As
we're
you are squabbling
Clearly
and heading
laser
in the
focused
direction
on this. Sorry, go ahead.
of the Clouds Giants Keep, I'll just read you some more description of the terrain. As aforementioned, that the keep is kind of built into this cleft in the mountainside. There's kind of this courtyard in front of the keep, but it is strewn with rubble. That seems like probably bits of the keep that have been knocked from its structure. There's some weird kind of blue, like scrabbly looking shrubs that have kind of grown up from the frozen ground.
There's a
The
car
first
on the
floor,
lawn.
yeah, there's a big giant car propped up on cement bricks. The first floor of the keep looks intact, but the second floor, you can see parts where the wall and the ceiling have just completely given way, suggesting that the second floor is only partially intact. And as aforementioned, the front door is 25 feet tall. Seems to be the only obvious entrance at ground level.
I'm gonna cast Pass Without Trace, and
Okay.
so we all have +10 to dexterity stealth checks.
Nice.
Excellent.
Surely that won't be misused.
That's fine.
And I'd just like to take a slightly, well, I mean, we're hundreds of feet away, but a slightly closer look at these shrubs to see if I can
Mhm.
identify anything weird about them. Are they like moving
Yeah.
independently?
Gotcha. Roll nature or perception.
Not ideal. That's only an 11.
That you look at them, they seem to be harmless, kind of sad, weird flora that has tried to eke out a living here at the top of a mountain. But they don't seem to bear you any ill will nor have any locomotion.
Who can really say what a plant is thinking, though?
People who have speak with plants. That's
Oh.
a spell.
Good point.
Is
Yep.
it really?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
It's just like speak with
mean, of
animals,
course.
except you won't learn
Wait.
anything useful.
What? You mean we could have had that and we could have been talking to every single plant that we came across?
Oh yeah, I ran Cressus Strahd for somebody who had that, and they talked to every plant along the way.
That seems strange. Nobody would do that.
Could we do some kind of aerial
Trust the rhododendrons.
some aerial reconnaissance of this place? Either
You could.
by creature or magical CCTV
I mean, Hermione
camera.
could have flown around and gotten a recon, but
Yeah.
But didn't.
she
Luke
spent it all doing loop-de-loops and barrel rolls.
Little Antony can.
Little Annie can
Oh,
turn
little
into
Annie.
any kind of
Oh,
flying animal.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I will tell you, since you've suggested a thing you could actually do.
Little Antony's useful for this
Yay,
adventure first
Little
time.
Antony.
I high five.
I'm putting a map of the second floor, kind of above the map of the first floor, which so far you have not explored. So the second floor, little Antony flies up. You have to go quite a ways up because seems like the ceilings here are 30 feet high to accommodate creatures navigating 25-foot doorways. And little Andy can see that up on the second floor, there's a room with two doors leading into it, and then presumably like a larger room outside of that most of which has caved in, and there's a set of stairs leading down. And hey, guess what? Because the floor is caved in, I think little Anthony could basically see what's below that part, which is the front of this room inside the keep, because it's open to the sky.
Oh, I don't love the looks of those things.
Well, hold on. You don't
Dear.
see those. Little Anthony does. So little Anthony can see into the kind of the entrance hall of the keep. And the first thing that catches little Anthony's attention is two immense figures. These are 25-foot tall creatures, and they just are kind of like wandering aimlessly around this place. These perhaps are the cloud giants that you were warned about, or their souls. For these seem to be
Cool.
the ghosts of cloud giants. Well, I'm going to show you this image. Again, remember this thing, but 25 feet tall.
I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
These ones are
Except for these
20 feet
You were at
tall.
one point.
Yeah.
I might be.
Literally were afraid of ghosts earlier
Yeah.
in this adventure.
Well, the
But see,
Uh,
if I tell myself I'm not, then I'm not.
So there are two cloud giant ghosts. They appear as these kind of weird, very blue, giant-like apparitions, but their facial features are all kind of gone to kind of having like a skull-like visage. They're carrying giant weapons, which seem to be heavy on the kind of blunt object side of the weapons category. And in traditional ghost fashion, you can see like kind of the tops of the legs, but then by the time you get down to about like shin area, it just kind of fades away into nothing.
Great, we can just walk under them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, walk under a cloud giant ghost. I'm sure that won't be a life-changing
We have
experience.
passed without a trace. We are so stealthy.
Yeah.
I am a centaur with really heavy plate, so I'm gonna need all of those 10 points if we're
So
gonna do that.
little Anthony sees two of those moving around in that entrance hall there. I would say that either that they seemed not aware of little Anthony or presence as little Anthony flies around. I don't know if you said what little Anthony is. I just assumed like a bird.
He's a bat.
or bat. Okay.
Bat, bat,
Just
bat,
a
bat, bat,
just
bat.
a
A much cooler, much
real
cooler.
casual daytime bat, just out for out to buy a pack of cigarettes. Nothing to see here. Little Andy can probably see that there it does look like there are probably some other rooms or passageways on the first floor, and the only thing really there as far as furniture is it looks like there's some kind of, maybe they're bookcases or display cases in the main hall there. So I think I'm asking for you all to decide what you're going to do before we end this exciting episode of Total Party Kill.
Sorry, did you say we had some indication that Zikran was under this structure as opposed
Indeed.
to? Okay.
I think especially as you learn more about the nature of the structure, it seems like it's possible he's somewhere in the back of the first floor, but possibly underneath the structure.
We could try
It had big basement vibes, I think, from Cyril's vision.
I mean, we could try and sneak past these people.
Or check out and see if there's an entrance to
Yeah.
get down.
Like a little basement door, storm.
Yeah, you said there's windows.
Or we could just start
There
digging.
are no windows on the first floor.
Oh,
The second floor, I think, used to have windows, but now just has, you could think of it as one big window, which is to say the entire southern wall of the keep and most of the eastern wall and 25% of the western wall.
Why would you build
I'm just
a
saying, if
house
you
on the
tried to
peak
turn
of
this
a
keep
mountain
in
without windows?
Windows?
Like, the
Yeah.
view is astonishing.
Yeah, they also built it in this like crevasse, so
Yeah, I don't think Cyril knows much about defensibility of
Well, when we take
structures.
this place over, we'll remodel.
Yeah.
it's
Well,
a
I got a
long
lot
way
of friends
from
in
anywhere.
construction.
It's the location is not very desirable though. You have not
For a
passed.
mountain retreat, it is.
I guess you have not passed a Quiznos
Put a nice
in
hot tub
hours.
outside. You
Is
can
it
killer.
is it an air genasi? So we've got an air genasi B&B.
I will. You know that Zikran is, I believe, a water genasi.
Yeah, well, there goes my pun.
So, but he was obsessed with getting up
There
away
goes
from
my
sea level.
pun.
What will you
What will you
do?
do
How will
this
you
time?
approach this situation?
Stealthily.
Stealth.
All right. Do you want to stealth into the Great Hall of this keep?
I
It's
do.
okay.
Yeah.
Could do that, or potentially, I mean, we don't really know what's underneath the staircase on the second floor. It's possible if we got up to the second floor, we could get past
Yeah.
those guys without.
Yeah.
That seems like, why else would there be a giant hole?
But
Yeah.
I can't cast
just-
fly again until tomorrow. So
Just gonna.
I could
just
do
gonna
a
move
spider
your
climb. I can get
move
up
your
there.
tokens closer to the
Yeah.
the Cloud Giant's keep.
I can levitate somebody up there, and then they can throw down a rope.
Yeah, I can do that.
I can dimension door me and Polly somewhere.
Down at the bottom of the mountain again.
Yeah,
Um,
can the dimension door do you have to be able to see where you're going?
I don't think so.
Well,
Can you-
I've never cast it. It just sounds fun.
I like the idea.
This is how you get like a transporter accident situation.
Right. That's why
So Nyasa
It
and
could be
somebody
a
else
place I
goes
can
up, and we get a
or
A fly
so
coming back.
Yeah, it has to be a place you can see or one you can visualize.
okay, so
or
Lil
I
ain't-
can describe it like 200 feet straight downward or
Right.
something.
I mean,
So,
I can
I
visualize a
stay
lot
up
of
there.
things.
okay,
Yeah, I
can
feel like you can see from a distance that there's a big hole in the side of this keep. You can visualize what it's like to be up there.
how hard do these walls look like to climb?
I'm gonna say not that hard. They're they're because they're flat worked stone, right? It's not like climbing side of a mountain, which literally I guess you've kind of done before, except for that part where you use flight to cheat. They're probably a little frosty, but I don't think it would be that hard. You're at level 10. You can climb a wall.
They are level 10.
Okay.
I like this plan. Let's go up the second floor, go quietly down the stairs, see where we get.
do I have to figure out how a centaur can climb a wall? I'm just asking.
We
like,
can
for-
we
for-
can like
You're very
create a pulley,
strong.
and then
Yeah.
we'll pull you up, like lifting a
you know.
piano into a second floor apartment.
You have
And we're all Laurel and Hardy.
I mean, I did climb a ladder and snuck through a hole in a book
Yeah,
Was it
a very long
sneaking
time ago.
or falling?
Listen, I went up. It was sneaking. Like,
I will tell you, it requires a DC 10 athletics check to climb up this wall.
all right.
we can do that. We've got +10.
I mean, I do have a
on-
+8
but we've
on
still
my
got
athletics,
+10
so,
on
like-
dexterity things. haven't
on
we?
sneakiness,
Yeah,
So
on stealth.
you're like ninjas infiltrating a
Yeah. All right.
yeah.
Let's go. Very
All right,
loudly.
let's go. I grab
Then-
Polly and we dimension door up.
Okay.
Boom.
all right.
Cool, it worked. I was not sure it would.
Oh wow. I didn't even have to move my token.
Yes,
Sweet.
I'm helping.
I rolled a
Landy, where'd
20,
you go?
23.
Thank you.
All right, Hermione. I don't really visually know what it looks like, but you climb up the wall.
All right. What was it? What did we have on?
I mean, like a mountain goat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
With extra hands to kind of like,
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
so is
It
this
makes sense.
athletics? He said
Athletic. It's always athletics. It's never acrobatics, James. If
Hey,
you have
James,
to
I'm going to
ask-
give you Nyasa inspiration for that attempt. For that roll.
You could wait and see if he succeeds before giving inspiration.
Well,
Okay, sure. Can I do that? Can I give him the inspiration die after something happens? I thought
wait.
he had to have it in his inventory. It's bardic inspiration, not mine.
Oh, bardic inspiration is different than quality dungeon master inspiration. You do. You're right.
Yeah.
Shot
So I'm
bolt.
going to give you that. And if you blow it or do anything else that you blow within the next 10 minutes, you can add 1d10.
All right.
1d10.
Well, I rolled a 4, so that's not great. +1 athletics 5, and then I can add a d10. Okay, let's try and do this well.
Your bardic inspiration is a D10. Wow.
Yeah, I'm level 10, dude.
I got a 9, so that's 14.
Oh, okay. You got a 9 on the second roll. Okay, cool.
Yeah. All right,
you're good.
Nyasa, you're up. It didn't look like your best climb, but you get there. Lempus, I think you're the only one left.
Yeah, that's a 5. So
All right.
I'm going to use that inspiration that you're handing out like candy now.
I've been accused of being a kind of generous dungeon master.
And that time I get a 14.
All right, and you are up. Do the 5 of you want to make a quick dexterity check to do whatever it is you're doing quietly, like remembering that you have passed without trace?
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah. What do we get at plus
I
10 for that?
teleported. Do
Plus
I need
10.
to roll?
I'll say you can whatever you're doing for your next thing can be stealthy. Once if you want to walk around once you get there. If this is it, if you're like I am staying here forever, no, you do not.
I got a 17.
I got a 31.
I got an 11.
I'm even 11's not bad. It's just not great.
26.
All right.
That 11
And-
counts as a plus 10, so it is pretty bad.
And also
All right.
26.
All right. So you're all like stealthy moving around on this ledge. You can see from up here, you can see the kind of horrible well,
I'm sorry.
I don't know what happened. From up here, you can see the horrible cloud giant ghosts moving around below you. They make kind of just like a weird, like, I don't know if it's like them wheezing or like the cold wind blowing through them, but there's kind of a weird echoey noise that emanates from them. But yeah, you're up here. So there is a set of stairs leading down. There's also 2 doors that look like they probably lead into the same room, still intact up here on the 2nd floor. What will you do next?
Well, do we want to try and go down the staircase?
I think maybe somebody with some stealth should start down there and see
Yeah, peek around the corner.
I'll go.
See.
if we've done anything whatsoever by coming up here first.
It is a big question.
I'll go first.
Or send little Anthony down because he can fly up high and let you know what it is.
Little Anthony can be a centipede.
Yeah.
Plus, even if they see them, they'll just be like, "Oh, it's that bat again."
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, send him in.
All right. Little Anthony
that drag.
descends the giant stairs, I guess, in bat form.
Centipede. It's gonna take him a while.
Oh, wait. Are you sending? Yeah. Okay. You all watch.
Several hours later.
Left, right. And essentially, I will tell you, these are steps that are cut for a giant. So they are, I guess,
Extra long.
yeah, they're big to go down. Would have been a lot harder to climb up them, that's for sure. But little Anthony appears on the steps leading down, and indeed, these steps lead into the entry hall of this keep. An image similar to what little Anthony saw before in bat form. But I will tell you from this vantage point, little Anthony can see that there are clearly some interior rooms to the keep behind some doors. Also, it looks like at the bottom of the stairs that little Anthony is descending, there is another set of stairs that leads deeper into the mountainside. So there are clearly a variety of places here within the Cloud Giant's Keep that may have horrors or treasures awaiting you. Excuse me. Will you have to do battle with these terrible giant ghosts? Will you make your way right toward Zikran himself and have to deal with his horrible cannon that he was devising? Remember that? Or are there other horrible things within this keep that you don't even have a clue about? For answers to questions such as these, tune in next time to Total Party Kill. The end. The next episode will be about 20 minutes of discussing whether you want to go down the stairs or not.
Yeah.
Yep.
As expected.
I will say I think you are nearing the end of the adventure. I suspect our next session will be the finale of this adventure. But I think that's all we
Huzzah.
have for today.
Cool.
Well done.
Livestream/bootleg. Thank you for listening. A couple people are watching on YouTube right now. That's great. We will be back at a date and time to be determined for hopefully the conclusion of this adventure. Goodbye.
Hooray.
Bye.
I think we kind of killed it today. If I say so
Yeah.
myself.
Literally.